I'm so
It's like
happy I
listening
got
to
my
a poor
ring back.
impersonation of like the fucking Jay Leno show.
I don't think any of us have a chin good enough to pull off Jay Leno.
I'm more in the sound area.
I might be able to be Jimmy Fallon, but
Maybe the Tonight Show is closer. It kind of depends on where our humor is in the day.
I honestly think anybody could be Jimmy Fallon, but that's beside the point.
I don't think I've ever watched anything with Jimmy Fallon.
I don't think he's very funny.
Seems legit.
I miss George Carlin. That's just me.
Everybody misses
Everyone,
George
yeah.
Carlin.
Yeah, that's pretty much universal.
Like, I suppose Jimmy Fallon's funny in the way that your college friend would be when you're hanging out, but that's not the kind of funny a professional comedian should be.
Well, it's my opinion that if you have to get drunk enough for that person to be funny, the person's not funny.
You're just drunk.
Yep. Yeah, that's the kind of that's like if that's the appeal of that person's humor, that if you're in the right kind of stupid mindset, he's funny. Then the person's not funny. You're just being stupid. Which is fine when you're with your friends, because let's face it, not all your friends are funny. But when it's like someone who gets paid for his job, well, can I get paid? I can probably tell better jokes.
So that's why The Exorcist was so funny to me.
I don't know. Cheech and Chong kind of made a good living off of that.
Mm.
Yeah, but they actually put effort into their movies and didn't smoke
Yeah,
themselves
I
when
like
they were
them.
making them.
I don't
So.
smoke pot, and I still like them. So, but it was
So-
definitely the audience.
I don't
So-
even know what you're talking about, so.
Meanwhile, in the city of Harrogate,
That is a long ass way away from what we're talking about, sir. That's not a meanwhile. That's more like an introduction to a whole goddamn new movie.
That is a harsh U-turn segue.
So Lindahl blazes up a doobie.
Okay, that's not even
Well, hey,
tangential.
pipe weed, right? You just gotta use proper terminology.
It's not even like a meanwhile. It's more like, fuck, I don't know.
Hey, we
In
were
another
just in a...
galaxy, in another reality, in another possibility, someone also happens to pick up a cigarette. There, that's the best I got.
We were also just in an opium den.
Okay, fair enough. That might get a little closer. Meanwhile, in a related but not related scenario involving fantasy creatures up to and including dwarves.
Up
Anyway.
to dwarves, that's not going too far.
it's not raising the bar very high either.
Yeah, there once upon a time it did, though. It was sad.
Meanwhile,
short.
in a warehouse adjoining the in a warehouse adjoining the Harlot's Embrace, you lot have just, let's see here, within the past 15 minutes, busted in, pursuing several armored figures, discovered that they had whisked away Lindahl in the form of a plate. Lindahl did eventually return to his proper self, and you guys had briefly cornered someone who seemed like he was trying to take charge and was threatening everyone with this nice fragile plate, but then a bit of inattention turned his way, and he teleported away, much to everyone's consternation and Garazen's many uttered threats.
At this point, I'm just going to knock everyone I capture out and tie them up.
Including
And
Ted,
so
we
far, the whole
determined.
take them alive thing is fine, but like every time I keep them conscious, it's not working out.
Ted gets an extra punch for the knockout.
Yeah, he's going. Yeah, I'm literally going to knock him out with a punch.
Make it a backhand.
It sounds more like abuse when it's a backhand. This is more about like vengeance for like somehow
I'm pretty sure a
slipping
punch
rope.
is still abuse.
Pretty sure a punch
No,
is
he
worse,
deserves
actually.
the punch.
Yeah,
Come on,
if
get
it's
him
a
with-
full-blown punch, like pull your fist back and
No,
Yeah.
more like a smack across the nose.
Come on, get him with Lombard's motherfucking pimp hand.
I don't know if he has one, but he might develop one at this rate.
And last we were actually active here, Bombard had been arguing at great extent with Guard Captain Navarre, who was
Basically
casting
doing nothing.
No, who was casting aspersions at the time on the fact that Bombard talked to Navarre that night, and then there just happened to be a prison break, apparently executed by a dwarf matching Bombard's description, and maybe, citizen, you ought to watch your step. To which Bombard was constantly arguing, and he was eventually distracted away by a psychic / enchantment slap up the back of the head from Lindahl, which did not have the actual intended effect, but since then they seem to have given up the topic briefly and were searching the armored figures, trying to determine interesting clues.
And I believe we determined they
there's
were
they're
kind of undead nooses.
yeah, they've
Which
got
inside
that
of
really
armor is just kind of weird.
they've got that really sharp acidic scent of oozes. Shenalar was trying to hide away from all of the trouble and ruckus over there. All right, these 4 Lilins that are still hanging around were summoned by her. And yeah, the ones that Lindahl summoned to help search the warehouse have since disappeared. And I cannot remember if Brad had simply said Lindahl was going to, or if he has carried out summoning the door to his magnificent mansion and going in there to sulk.
Well, he's not on the map. I think he did go in there to go sulk. I'm not too sure.
I've summoned it already. It's not on my list anymore.
Okay.
There you go. He's sulking.
But have you gone in?
Yep, that's why you made me not visible.
Okay. Shall put you back to not visible for the time being.
He's a proper
Alrighty.
wizard. He's sulking.
The guard's just going to be snooping about trying to find the doorway he just saw you step through, but
Good luck.
he
A
doesn't
hand
know it's
reaches out from the
impossible.
ether and dope slaps him before vanishing.
And let's see here. It has been a sufficient amount of time.
Well, it's about time I think we've gotten everything. We've got the picture. I'm sorry, the pictures. The documents. We've got about as much as we're going to get off these whelks. Sorry, I don't know they're called whelks. I know they're called blargs.
Mhm.
We have prisoners. The big one got away. Shame, but not a lot to do about that. So I guess our next course of action is go with the police because the police want us to come along.
I believe we're waiting for the Inquisitor.
That was okay. Yeah, that was the thing. Okay, thank you. It's been a while.
Yes, after the discovery of the actual altar where there are burned human remains in a bowl, and where Lindahl found his ring on the finger of the skeleton
Yeah, they've
in
been
the
sacrificing
bowl.
Horus. I remember that. Sorry, was that not PC enough? Yeah, let me try again. They have been ritually dismembering, I think. I think they're dismembering and burning ladies of the night.
No, it's a complete skeleton.
Oh, they haven't been dismembering? Okay, it's just the burning then.
Yes. And in fact, the bowl is small enough that that either someone would have to be pre-coiled up into the fetal position, or they had to have been willing when they were burned.
No, they could just be knocked the fuck out and, or already dead, tied in that position. I mean, rope burns.
And this was to Urgathoa, yeah?
Yes, it was.
Hurrah for remembering things.
Hurrah! Well, I have notes on stuff. I just don't have notes on this particular aspect because it's important, but like some names aren't as important as others. No
Yeah,
offense to
Okay,
the
just-
deceased.
Okay, just one important question.
Yep.
What's a sacrifice?
It's not a paladin.
What is a paladin?
I'm not entirely sure.
We can start this cycle now and never end it, or we can just end it now. I vote we end it now. What is the sacrifice? So it was that girl who had your ring.
I'm just screwing with you. I said, what's a sacrifice?
Oh,
A word.
What's a word?
A rhino on a bulldozer comes through the wall. Everybody rolling it.
A rhino and a bulldozer is your go-to for that?
well, that's his
Anyways.
go-to. I was expecting a lot of things, Tio. That was not what I was expecting.
I think it'd be a dragon at least.
Or a metal dragon, just to spice it up. But Jesus, man, the rhino and the bull. All right.
Okay.
Okay, in character. All right, hold on.
Could I get everyone who is still physically present in the warehouse to roll a will save, pretty please?
Oh, all right. I don't know where. Okay, hold on. Is this okay? I don't know if it's a spell
Yes,
or
it's
not.
a
If
spell.
it is, okay.
Fulton continues to be completely immune to will effects.
That is the correct amount. Just add 2. So yeah, there you go.
And I have an ion stone giving me protection from mental influence as a heads up in case.
Well, you're a fucking cleric, right? And of course you're gonna be goddamn immune to will saves.
Ha ha ha.
If I
If you
can,
weren't, I'd be goddamn worried.
if I can learn to spell, then maybe this will actually work.
So it's
Okay.
a psionic rhino?
Okay, hold on. I have a joke for that. You said if I could learn to spell, I could do this right. Well, that's what the wizards have said since the dawn of time. Ho 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 ho.
I didn't get it.
Merry Christmas.
You all suck. If I can learn to spell, and that is what a wizard has
Yeah,
said.
it's a pun.
It's a terrible,
Yes.
terrible,
I couldn't
terrible
even really
pun.
tell what you said.
I
No.
didn't want to acknowledge it.
Yeah, that's almost as bad.
Too
as
late.
the
It's been
time
acknowledged. It's there forever.
That's almost as bad as the time somebody asked me to make them a scroll, and I said I didn't know how to spell scroll, and they started spelling scroll.
Mm-hmm.
Or the time somebody misspelled goodberry as good berry, so when they cast it, the DM started singing Barry White songs.
Mm-hmm.
That DM knows what he's doing.
Anyway, I assume we rolled will saves for a reason.
Yes, you did. Okay. You guys feel an odd warm pulse come through the air from the front of the building.
What the hell was that?
Just
Nice.
before, the front door suddenly bursts open, and a
Does he combat roll in?
no. The door
Aw.
bursts open, and a man surrounded with flickering golden flames comes marching in and glares furiously at everyone who steps in his path, including this poor guardsman, who quickly skedaddles out of the way.
Scorzin leans over to Fulton. Why does he look more holy than you? And that's hard to do. No offense. It's just
Until
he's
he
going like a light bulb.
until he reaches the center of the room, looks around the warehouse as if to judge his position, and plants the staff he's carrying good 5 inches deep into the ground, where it then remains there and hums, vibrating softly.
I just sort of have my gun on me. Just, yeah. That's what I'm doing.
If you remember, your weapons have already been confiscated.
Like hell, I never gave it to him. I was
The
very
guard-
clear on that. If he wants my gun, he's going to have to argue it off me. Especially because there could be more of these around in crates, and then what am I going to do? Punch
Mhm.
it?
So, when this Inquisitor comes in, Fulton's going to roll knowledge religion for what he is an Inquisitor of.
Well, that's smart.
Go
Emperor.
ahead.
Batman villainy.
I'll
Best
actually roll
roll
knowledge,
ever.
local on to see if I know anything about like what Inquisitors not necessarily do, but more like their stance on things? Like,
No
I have
need
found a sacrificial pit, the whole place must now burn, or is it something different?
Knowledge local isn't going to help you in this case because that's something that varies from region to region, practice to practice. However, if you would like to join, Fulton in knowledge religion, maybe you can identify this sect.
I don't have knowledge religion trained, so I wouldn't be able to give them any information.
Righto.
I cover other bases, more physical bases, if that makes sense.
Like second base?
Yes.
Bad.
Anyways, Fulton, you recognize a Hierarch of Abadar when you see one. This guy looks a bit more angry, though, than you'd expect a herald of neutrality and patience to be.
Yeah.
You also get the impression that just because he's put that staff down doesn't mean it's not still close to hand.
Well, it's 5 inches in the dirt, or stone, rather, so, you know, it's...
If he can put it in,
not
he
going
can
anywhere.
take it out.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, it's not going anywhere, is my point.
But yeah, that is pretty angry for an Inquisitor of the Judge of the Gods.
Wow, that is pissed off.
He's also the master of the first vault.
Right, he could just be a naturally angry person. I mean, yeah, he worships the god of patience and so on, but that's like not his entire. Like, you don't have to be patient. I mean, you worship Adamade, I think is how you pronounce it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Adamade, and you don't represent every single factor of. And it's not because she's a woman. Shut up. I'm just saying you don't represent every factor of her particular portfolio.
Iomade, I believe is the pronunciation.
I mean, you can kind of pronounce it however. Just remember, there's only one D in there.
Iomedes, there.
Why
I
not?
think that might be the male version.
I like to pronounce it lemonade.
Lemonade, the goddess. Alright, seriously though, you don't represent the entire portfolio she possesses. You represent a fair amount of it, but that doesn't mean you have to represent all of it all the time, you know? He's still a mortal person, I think. Probably.
Most likely, I suppose.
You know, like 50-50 chance.
Hey, he's an avatar. He's an avatar of the god himself.
Okay, then why is he pissed off this bad?
Edmund
He had to
Navarre
talk to you for
separates
2
himself
seconds.
from the.
Okay, quiet.
Edmund Navarre separates himself from his men and goes up to the hierarch and kneels all the way down to one knee. No ring or anything is offered to be kissed.
Sorry, it's just really funny for me to see. Okay, keep going.
When Navarre stands back up, the priest dismissively waves a hand over his head and asks, "You have summoned me?" "Yes, your lordship. A center of worship and a sacrifice altar has been discovered over yon. These unrecognized over here, and there's another one back there in the stack somewhere. Don't know what she's looking for. They came upon this site and slew yon armored beings before we arrived. They claim that they have been looking for the man responsible for said sacrifice, but we are going to be holding them to make certain of this before anyone may leave unchallenged." The priest listens to all of this, but keeps looking angrily around, and eventually he ceases his study of the surroundings, having particularly stared over in this direction for a few moments, before finally directing his gaze on the only other person in the room wearing any kind of holy symbol.
Oh, lovely. We're about to have what fun talk. Whoopee.
As an immediate response, Fulton will bow to him. Not nearly to the extent Navarre did, but still respectful.
Okay. By the waist, but no further.
Yes.
All right. Could you roll a sense motive, please?
Does that include me or just?
You may.
Just
And
it's
it's
not a big deal if I don't
3
have
I
to. I just,
roll.
any chance we get to get a little more.
Yep. Well, you're not assisting. You're making an independent observation.
Oh, I know that.
I rolled 2 3s in a row. What is this? This is no RNG.
It's better than ones.
Yeah, fair enough.
Which was
I rolled
me
an natural
last
20.
week.
So there you go. Everything's evened out then.
Stop taking my luck.
No, it's mine. I need it. I'm willing to
Fairness,
gun
your
in a medieval
modifier
setting. I
is
fucking
3.
need the luck.
Garazin, you successfully detect a very, very subtle smile in the corner of his mouth.
I'm not sure how to feel about that.
You there. Whom do you represent here?
I'm a servant of my lady Ayamede.
And you led the charge into this den of vice?
Say yes, say yes, say yes, say yes.
Not as much of a charge as I would have hoped, but yes.
Very well. And you there, in the heavy cloaks, stand forth and be recognized.
She kind of just folds her arms, waits.
You are lucky I am in a forgiving mood, skulking about in the shadows like that. One could mistake you for a more hostile intent.
Lad, if he was hostile, there wouldn't be anything in here except, I don't know, bits. I've seen what she can do.
You said he.
Is she a girl? We've never established this. I mean, I could think she's a
She
girl,
has
but
a
she's also
voice.
elven, so, good luck on that one. Not that she's entirely covered.
She's just gonna stand over here, trying not to glare, trying very hard not to glare,
Probably failing.
failing not to glare.
Garzin appears nothing notice, and she's an elf, and not like he can tell the difference anyway.
The Inquisitor seems to take no notice of you guys' quiet bickering in between each other. And marches back across over to near that desk. And who has investigated this aperture hidden over yon?
That'd be I.
Edmund comes over and says, "Oh, damn it! There was a fourth one here. He can't have gotten too far."
I'll level with you, lads. He's a wizard. He'll go where he wants. I'm just gonna say it. He's a wizard. He's just gonna go where he wants.
He could be halfway across the continent if he wished.
You're underwater. I honestly don't know.
So are you lot speaking for him, or are you claiming ignorance of his intent?
Can we do both?
Who is it who's allowing this dwarf to speak above his station?
I'm sorry, what? I appear to have gotten rocks in my ears.
Okay, I'm actually gonna crawl out of the house at this point.
I'm assuming you can hear what's going on. I don't know how magic work.
Is he literally crawling?
Crawls from the depths.
Decent timing, I suppose. Otherwise, Grosmo's going to get another dope slap.
He probably would, but he just made a very, very, very unwise comment to make.
Don't look at me. I tried to shut him up.
Well, I didn't instigate this. This asshole I'm just speaking more cordially, and this asshole starts fucking stationing.
Well, to use a bit of logic really quick, he is a religious person who is in charge. He's going to assume that the other religious person of the group is going to be in charge of the other group.
You do not turn to that person, though, and say, how dare you speak above your station.
He just did.
Well, he just insulted me, and I'm gonna get insulted about it.
I wonder if he would notice if I hit him with a flesh worm infestation.
I think everyone would notice.
That would quiet him down after a few rounds.
Yes, after everyone within a 60-foot area is dead.
Let me check how many greater teleports I have. And just...
If you have one, you have enough.
Bye.
Screw this group. I'm going home.
So Lindahl has emerged.
Yeah, so Lindahl emerges as Garza and is about to get rightfully offended in an asshole who does stations.
The priest turns away from Garazin and faces Lindahl. And what are you doing, skulking about beyond unseen portals?
If you don't say whatever I want, I will be insulted.
You want some tea?
He just stares at you for a few moments.
Determines you're not evil because ring.
I'm true neutral.
Mm-hmm. Very well then. Navarre. Yes, Lordship. I've borne witness to the scene. I shall examine this more closely. Please take these witnesses back to the tower, where they can be questioned better later. Do be aware that you are all guests of the tower until I decide otherwise.
Oh, fun.
Fulton has already agreed to this multiple times, so he will just nod.
Navarre, you are dismissed. Navarre steps away from the hierarch and begins shouting orders to his men to escort you lot back, and he looks pleadingly at Fulton.
Fulton will turn his gaze on the Garazin, seeing if he's going to make any trouble about this.
What? I'll go. I already agreed. I'd go to the tower. Whatever. You're going. I'll go.
Then off we go.
Fine, I'll lead. Whatever.
Just form up in the north half of this warehouse here. Lindahl, are you going willingly?
Yeah, I'll go with them. I'm lawful.
Just double checking.
No, this is the time when I decide to be evil and start casting fleshworm infestations.
And then you die.
Because the Inquisitor finds you.
So par for course.
The last thing you guys see before you turn the corner and leave the warehouse is the Inquisitor apparently using flame strike to cleanse the altar.
That's a low-level spell that does divine damage. Fair enough. I would just use Hallow, but it's me.
Well,
does he cackle and yell "burn" over and over again?
Hallow will get rid of it, sure, but that would also leave a consecrated site in the whorehouse.
Is that a bad thing now?
Actually, Hallow was already cast over the whole building just as he entered.
Oh, that's what that was.
That explains that.
And you three all passed the check against Discern Lies, so he was quite angry.
Oh, that's what it was.
That poor son of a bitch. We weren't lying,
not that
but
it really
he's gonna think we were.
Fulton, but...
Oh, that's funny. And what's especially funny is that they better rename this place like the Holy Whore, because now you have a hollowed whorehouse.
It only stays that way for a while.
Yeah, long enough.
Less so with probably what's going on inside.
All right, there we go. Alrighty. So you lot are led very carefully not at spear point. Guards have to check themselves at Navarre's direction that this is not just some gang of criminals you're leading back to the tower. These are
People.
Helpful citizens.
there we go, helpful citizens. Thank you, Master Dwarf.
Aye.
I want my mask back.
We'll be finding it. Give it time. Apparently, he wanted to spread your ashes and/or equipment across the four corners of the world.
Somehow I feel like it's going to be
Apparently,
this.
it's quite annoying.
I don't know why he'd do that. Your shit was worth a lot of. I mean, did he sell it all? I mean, that's a lot of money. I didn't think this town had that much money. Like, collectively.
Well, we already got most of my most expensive items back. He just flushed them down the sewer.
Asshole, an idiot.
Kind of odd.
A little bit. I mean, if he thought you were dead, I would just keep it in or sell it. If he thought you were going to come back, keep it and set a trap.
Well, I did threaten to come back from the grave and take my revenge, so...
Okay, so keep it and then use it to kill you, because unless you have a backup of all of this, and I doubt that.
You might just be overly cautious.
I'm working
it
on
could
it.
be it. But if you're over... well, that's not even like a permanent solution. That's like, I'm just going to go throw this somewhere and not think about it and hope he doesn't find it, even though he's a wizard. Like, the hell.
By my records, the only things not yet recovered are your Dusty Rose Prism, your planar tuning forks, your 4 True Seeing ointments, your Blessed Spellbook, and that Chain Lightning Wand you took off that guy in the on the Stained Road.
Yep.
Okay, just making sure all that was right.
Was there a staff in there? I didn't hear the word staff in there.
I didn't have one. But yeah,
Lame.
I'm missing my... so far, I'm still missing my mask, belt, and boots, and my Dusty Rose Prism. Oh, and my Necklace of Adaptation.
Oh no, your clothing and jewelry was found with that was found in that was found wrapped up in your cloak in the sewer.
Oh, all of that except for my ring. Okay, I didn't. I thought you just meant my mundane jewelry. So my necklace was in there. Okay.
Okay, no. The cloak, the signet ring, your jewelry, your
Yeah,
robe
I
of
have
holding, dueling rapier, material component pouch, and necklace of adaptation were in the sewer.
Okay, so it's just my... Oh, wait, my clothing too. So my belt and my boots were in there too. So am I missing my mask then, or?
Let's see here.
Would that be clothing?
Yes,
or...
your Haramaki, your mask, your belt of Mighty Con. Oh, pardon me, your boots are magical, so no, you don't have those back. Your Haramaki, your mask, your belt, your boots, your prism.
He said boots
your forks.
again, even though his boots aren't there.
Yes, your prism, your forks, your True Seeing ointments, the Blessed Book, and the Chain Lightning Wand. Those are all still unaccounted for.
Okay, so my armor, my boots, my mask, and my Okay, sorry, I can...
Yep, your belt.
Just a second, I'm getting a notepad. I'm gonna make a note of all the things I don't have yet.
This is one weird problem to have, you know that? Because your character would very clearly know what he has missing, but we're sitting there going like,
The paperwork, however.
Well, my character's had these items longer than I have. So I'm missing my armor, my belt, my boots.
Your mask. These.
Crack Dusty Rose. What's that do?
+2 in it.
Oh, right, it's that one.
And these.
Well, we know his wizard book is missing.
But
That's something we've been complaining about since day one, but...
Yep. That first paste-in, however, starting with Cloak of Resistance, that's the stuff you recovered in the sewer, and the bonded ring you just recovered from this guy in the warehouse.
Right. So yeah.
Was it your ring that had the non-detection, or was... I think the ring was the invisible one, right?
Mind
ring
shielding
is-
and invisibility.
Okay, it did both. Okay, it did 2 jobs, right? Sorry, you have a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, just like a Hall's candy drop. It has 2 jobs.
Is one of those jobs being delicious?
One of them, yeah.
Alright then, I need to go find some, because I need cough drops.
Within a short matter of time, you lot find yourselves all in the second and not third basement, and the guards quietly usher each of you into separate cells.
Mm.
You're separated from each other by brick walls, but so you can't see each other, but you can all hear each other if you raise your voices a little.
I'm just going to assume they want my gun.
Yes, they ask to take all your weaponry and your obvious armor.
I ask,
Even
what the heck is the
Sir
point of
Fulton.
taking my armor? I'm not. Are you gonna shank me and you don't want something to be in the way?
They don't count a robe as obvious armor, do they?
No.
Have
If
you
you're
any idea
wear-
how long it takes to get
if
this
you're
shit
wearing it,
on?
and if you're wearing it and it's metal or leather or both, they would like you to please remove it.
So you want me naked? Listen, if you want me naked, I expected to have dinner first.
Fulton will take his off, and, probably gets odd looks from anybody who hasn't seen him without the helmet on yet.
Mm.
Show everyone in the guard, but not us. I think all of us have seen without the helmet at this point, I think.
Yep.
I guess she technically gives over a buckler.
Here, have the arm shield.
I just shake my head going, have you any idea how long this stuff takes to get on, lad? Can I at least keep the armor? I'd like to not to spend the next 5 minutes having someone help me strap it back on.
Roll a diplomacy.
Yes, dwarf with your -2 charisma. Roll diplomacy. Because everyone loves dwarves.
I don't make that rule.
A 2. Well, a 1, technically. Not a natural 1, just,
Oh, man. Does he get spit in the face for his trouble?
Well, then someone's gonna get punched in the crotch.
You eventually, after much argument, you eventually have 4 of the guards all in the cell with you and asking you to please disrobe before they have to force you to. They will make some clothing available to you.
Fine, but you better make some clothing available to me. Give me, literally 5 minutes. Start taking off my armor, because it's gonna take fucking forever. It's gonna take fucking forever to get back on, too. Yeah, I'll take my armor off, give him my Bithro buckler, give him my fucking blunderbuss, and my hammer, and my musket. Oh, wait, no, they can't get the musket because that's clothes, so... yeah, that's pretty much all they could get off me without, taking my cloak.
Mm-hmm. And someone comes back with what looks like an obese teenager's clothing. Teenage human, anyway.
Ah, okay, I'll take it, whatever, if it's clothes.
It's loose in some spots and tight in others, but it's clothes.
Yeah, I mean, when you're
It'll
in full
keep you
plate, you're
warm.
not wearing a whole lot of clothes underneath that. You're wearing leathers, but not clothes.
You're wearing clothing to keep from pinches and to keep warm.
That's what the
to
leathers
all
are.
play
That's
day
why when
warm.
they said remove everything that is leather, I'm like, well, he's a dwarf. That's pretty much all he's going to be wearing underneath that.
On that note, they should probably bring Fulton some clothes, too, unless they want, the giant half-naked half-orc running around.
Yeah, seriously. Like
I
I said, you
suppose-
do wear clothes
I
underneath
suppose you guys
your
left
armor.
your
It's just not
change-
like a shirt.
I suppose you guys left your changes in your in. Hold on,
The
did you
inn,
take up
yes.
another? Didn't... Oh right. You did. You did take up new lodgings at the Repentant Hound.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Some clothing is made available for you, but
Good. So we don't have to
it's
go around on our
obvious.
shifts.
It's obviously made for someone a foot shorter than you,
Wait, him or me?
Fulton.
Oh.
There is
Good.
no
We're
one a
both
foot shorter
uncomfortable.
than
You're
you.
too big. I'm too small. Wonderful.
There is no one here a foot shorter than you, Garazen.
Ah, most dwarves. I'm quite tall for a dwarf now.
Granted.
Gnomes.
Mm.
Halflings. Most kinds of small fae. Like, most of
Yeah,
them.
none of which seem to be members of the city guard.
Weird, that is. You think you'd have lots of halflings under the higher of the guard, but apparently not.
Anyways, you guys are all brought an evening meal, but that's basically all that happens during the day, unless you guys have conversations you need to have in between each other.
One question.
Hmm?
How closely are they being watched?
There's a pair of guards. There's a pair of guards in the hallway. They're mostly just playing cards with each other, but they do look up at each of. They can see into all four of the cells, and they do look up every few minutes.
Okay, so she won't summon the idol on that. Probably ask too many questions.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. I'm going to play the old-fashioned dwarf game of, it's not quite tic-tac-toe. It involves pebbles and rocks. They do it when they're really bored. It's mostly a mind game.
Mm-hmm. You were playing circles. Yeah, I am playing circles. All the rocks are circles. I know. I win. Oh, you know I chose circles.
That sounds how it is played, yes.
And then the clubs come out.
And then we see who is right after all.
Since no one took my robe, I pull out my cotton blanket from it and lay down for a nap.
They provided beds.
I like
Yeah,
my
but
cotton.
they're stuffed with straw.
Okay, fair enough.
Cotton blanket is probably better.
Oh yeah.
I'm a dwarf. I'm used to sleeping in full armor on the ground. I'll be fine.
Yeah, I just keep a cotton blanket stuffed in my robe. It's pretty hilarious.
By the way, there's not any vegetarians or anything among you. Is there? Is the meal is just bread, a tall flagon of water, and
Meat of some description.
of some description. Yes, that's about right.
Are you kidding me? If Lindahl had to eat and he was hungry, he would totally he would eat a live baby.
He's that kind of evil, I guess.
Well, in that case, I'm sure he enjoys this rat stew.
I have my robe of sustenance. I don't need to eat.
She doesn't have to eat, and she's not going to eat this.
Dwarf, don't care. They can't poison me. Nom, nom, nom.
Fulton also doesn't care and will be spending most of his time just doing martial exercises.
Right,
Yes, I'm
tiny
going to
mental
spend-
exercises, study the area of the walls, complain about how shit they're made.
I'm going to look at the food and be happy I got my robe back.
Okay.
Praise the robe.
Fulton will probably inadvertently close his eyes at some point just from the monotony of doing physical exercises and then punch a wall.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure which comes out worse on that one.
Roll a strength check.
Nat 20, wall explodes. Oops.
I did not mean to do that. Have to get back to the inventory. Is there a... Yeah, there it is.
Ow, my hand.
Yeah, I could go back.
No, that's average for you, but you also have a significantly higher strength than normal, so... Your fist and just your fist go through the wall. You shake hands with your cellmate.
There we go. I'm back.
Inadvertently hit Grazan in the head.
Why
Oh,
are you
my
punching so
face.
low? That's kind of a way. That's like a low punch.
If you're in a decent stance and you're low in it.
He was hoping to hit you in the head.
Yeah.
You were aiming for it. It just kind of worked out.
Yeah, aiming for a knockout blow.
So yes, mid-kata, you turn a little too far, punch the wall, and the that's a hit. And although you don't punch through, you punch a brick, and that pushes a brick on the other side of the wall, and a brick falls out of the wall and lands on Garazen's toe.
Ow! Ow! What the? You screwed up my drawing. I was trying to invent a new locomotion, and you fucked it up.
What?
Well, when I'm bored, I don't
Yikes.
go around punching walls. I use my brain. Apparently, you go around punching walls.
That was entirely an accident, and I really have no idea what you're talking about.
Of course you don't. Well, thank you. Now there is a hole in the wall. Good job. Congratulations. Let me clap for you.
Is there a hole?
It's not straight through.
Oh no,
Apparently
you
two
just pushed
layers
a
of
brick
bricks in
through, so there's like
between
a perfectly brick-shaped hole. Shitty-ass human engineering.
Fulton, being the helpful person he is, will walk to the entrance to his cell and tell the guard out there, you should probably fix this at some point.
They couldn't fix this if they tried. This thing is held together with spit and hope. This isn't copper mortar. As long as it's rotted away. Why do you think you punched a brick out? If you were to sit outside and had like 20 years to punch this thing, you'd punch it into rubble. That's how shit it was built.
You have a copy of my token that was on the map, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay, just making sure. It has my expended spells on it.
Yep.
Although, like, I have to stay here if I don't want to.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think any of us have to stay here if we don't want to, but, you know, we're being polite.
Fulton will shrug and go back to what he was doing, just making sure to keep his eyes open the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
I guess she
yeah.
will start writing in her journal, probably disparaging remarks about the company.
Oh yes, being in jail again. This reminds me of before I gained all my power.
Well, I'm probably trying to find a way to put rocket boosters on my stone horse, so, you know, that'll be something to do.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
If they hold me longer than 3 days, I am going to start bitching, but other than that...
Mm-hmm. Midnight comes and goes, and the only reason you know it's midnight is because you heard a bell tower chime up above somewhere.
I mostly sleep.
Fulton prays, as is typical. Which means I guess I should prepare spells.
Three days of waiting later, there is a crater where this tower used to be.
She, I guess, will sleep her 2 hours.
Guards don't sleep his, you know, time. It doesn't make no difference to him.
I'll sleep, but
Only for
I-
something to do.
yeah,
Not
actually
something to do.
sleep.
It's just like, what difference does it make for me right now?
I'll sleep a full 8. My spells aren't expended until I re-prepare anyway. So
Mm-hmm.
actually, what I'm going to do is wait till no one's looking, then greater teleport back to my lair to grab my spell book, and then greater teleport back so I can rest and re-prepare spells.
Alrighty. Roll perception.
This is gonna go badly. It'll be great.
Hey, you're going to be blamed, not us. I'm cool with that.
Just trying to get my spell book.
That actually is a decent excuse, I think.
Just a sec. Where's my
I only
As long
broke out of
as-
jail to prepare spells for the day. Come on.
17.
As long as, they actually care.
It's kind of like asking to leave jail to get your lockpicks.
It is.
I think it's more like
I would
asking
like
to leave
them.
jail to get your cannon.
Can I go get my cannon, please? So you have to remember, you could just leave. It's more like you're in jail, but you have all the keys and are bulletproof. So, because he can like out of all of us, Lindahl can just literally walk out of here. So,
It's like
Of
when
course, if-
Superman lets himself be jailed.
If they're slightly smart, they have a dimensional anchor in place anyway.
I don't think they are. Yeah, someone with like somewhat above average strength just punched a brick out on like an average roll. Imagine if they
Ooh.
caught a druid. Not even like a Varg druid, just a druid.
Okay, greater teleport, you said, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Watch me trip no alarm going out, but trip an alarm coming back. That would just be hilarious.
wait, like check your cell, you're still in there going, what? What'd you do? Nothing! "20 guards appear in your fucking cell."
D32, that's weird.
Oh, that is weird. That's why I'm like, 20 guards, I guess?
It's a compass rose.
Ah, okay. Apparently, to a dimensional anchor, they just shunt you somewhere really far away. Alright then.
All right, and let's see.
Yeah, you'll
here.
escape. You'll escape in that direction.
And Lindahl suddenly finds himself inside of an active volcano.
Oh, I forgot to mention it, but I packed my cot and my blanket back into my robe.
That's, I guess you can presume that.
I don't want to lose those. They cost me a whole 3 gold.
And
You
damn
gotta
it,
be frugal.
yeah, you just gotta have that extra 3 gold. It mattered a lot when you're level 1. Why can't it matter now?
Okay. Let's see here.
Take 1,000,000 damage.
From hot lava.
Are you making a shadow mage?
My new character is a shadow mage. Her name's Bayonetta.
Oh,
Well, this
God,
entire
no.
campaign got really interesting really fast. When do we fight god monsters? Because that's gonna be cool.
That is quite the roll there.
Mm.
Okay, so you.
He can't pull it off. We don't have a
anything
visual.
like, unlike anything like Dimension Door, you just appear off target. So, Lindahl, you look around, carefully make sure that everyone's either asleep or looking in other directions. You figure you've probably got just enough time to sneak away while the guards aren't looking, or actually, it'd probably be smart enough to wait for the change of guards. That had happened several times through the night, so you wait until the guards are inattentive, weave your spell, and you were expecting to show up in a nice, warm, dank underground lair lit with the glowing green jar containing the next generation of you. So you're quite surprised when you show up, standing waist deep in snow in the middle of some mountain range.
I'm gonna run a Knowledge Arcana to see what the hell just happened.
Looking at the spell or slowly dissipating off of your own skin, you think somehow you landed off target.
Oh, that shouldn't happen.
It shouldn't.
It's nighttime now, right?
Yes, it is deep at night.
Okay, I'm going to I'm going to look at the position of the stars and the moon and use a knowledge of geography to see if I can get a rough gauge of where in the world I am right now. I have a plus 29 to that.
And then you look up, and there are no stars.
Only dragons.
I'm under the dome.
Only dragons. All right then. That escalated quickly.
Does that mean that every star in the sky is replaced with a dragon, or is it just lots of dragons?
Both.
Huh.
Nah, each
Imagine.
of the stars in the sky was a dragon, and now they're all here.
Imagine
Well, shit.
dragons.
Anyways, you managed to spot a couple significant stars through the freezing cold and the partially cloudy sky. And by the way, do you have any means of enduring elements or?
Continuous endure elements is on one of my items. I just don't remember which one it was. Just a sec.
What's funny is Gorson's actually really good at the scenario that you're in right now, so should have brought the dwarf. And he has really high survival on maps and stuff.
Stuff.
And stuff.
Just a sec.
Mhm.
Trying to remember which one that was.
Actually, it won't matter if you have endure elements. The temperature here is outside the range.
That is
Okay, it's
cold
fine.
as shit.
Actually,
That
I
is
think.
very cold.
Yeah, actually, I think I might not have it anyway. I think that was Aaliyah.
Okay. Could I get a fortitude save from you?
In
As you-
theory.
As you take a minute to study your surroundings.
Ouch.
And
That'd be a rather.
Yeah, this is how
ignoble,
my
I think the
character's
word
actually
is.
going to die now.
Yeah, he just sort of freezes to death somewhere in the thing, and now we're being questioned about where the wizard went. And we're just like, he's a wizard. He goes where he wants.
Or sometimes not where he wants.
there we go.
I'm not averse to writing up new characters. It's just a pain in the ass since this one took me so long.
Magic characters in general just take a time.
I'll write
There
up
it
Joseph
is.
Ripkin. He traveled from the past instead of actually being killed.
There's Lindall's token. Do a nice. Okay. It is really cold, and you don't think you're going to last very long out in the open like this. However, you managed to successfully determine that you are.
Currently blue.
Dabba dee dabba die.
Based on the position of the stars, you seem to be somewhere in that massive, unexplored mountain range between Alastria and Haragath.
That doesn't seem like a good place
It's
to
not
be.
unexplored. That's what the Dwarven Kingdom is. That's about as unexplored as, like, I
No,
don't
no, no.
know.
Under
gullet.
it is, under its northwestern reaches is the Dwarven Kingdom. This
Okay,
is
I
out
see what-
in dead center of the of the range.
No,
Yeah,
you're literally at, like, the peak area. Yeah, you're gonna die.
Yeah, I really have no choice but to attempt Greater Teleport again. Good thing I had 3 of them prepared still.
Like, you're lucky if a
Okay.
Yeti eats you.
Try to get back to my lair.
Just imagine him, like, shaking. Okay, let's try this again. Poof.
All right, roll a concentration check.
What is it for that? I might actually auto pass.
The DC is, I think it's 10 plus the damage, and I'll be determining the damage in just a second.
There might also be, like, modifiers for, like, weather conditions, I think.
This is just extreme cold, deals fixed amount of damage, no save, and additional non-lethal damage with a save. So concentration, the DC is 10 plus damage dealt plus spell level.
Oh, I can't make that.
And thus you die out in the middle of a snowy peak, eaten by a Yeti.
Because 10 plus damage dealt would be 22 plus the spell level of greater. That would be a DC of 28, and my I only get a. Oh yeah, concentration is a caster level check plus your mod, right?
Yes.
Okay, so 17, 26, and is what I get to add to it, and the DC is 28. Okay, I got
Oh,
a
the
pretty
damage
good
roll nice and low for you, so.
Oh, okay.
So DC 28.
Okay, so DC is 28, and I get a plus 26 to it. I will take those odds.
Yeah, pretty good
Okay.
odds. Rolls a 1. Damn. Sorry, I'm jinxing you.
And I'll make the token
I
available
will
for you.
not be surprised if that happens. I just made it.
Wow, that was like, you got a 2. That was barely. Wow, I did jinx your ass. Sorry.
It's okay. I made it. We'll see what happens now.
You arrive in your lair,
It's very layering.
and suddenly the lukewarm environment of underground feels blisteringly warm.
I'm going to grab my spellbook, start muttering to myself, and teleport back to the prison.
I curse this entire fucking
Actually-
frost-decked land.
Oh, actually, yeah. Sorry. Where's my token?
What do you need to do on it?
I need to burn my 2 greater teleports. I also want to check how many I have left after that.
You said you had 3, so you should have 1.
I think I had 3, but I might have prepared
You
more
have-
slots. So.
Yeah, you did
have
wear a lot
2.
of them.
You have 2 in level 7 slots and 1 in a level 8 slot.
Do I have any other means of travel prepared?
You have double reach dazing fleshworm.
Yeah, that's not helpful.
That's traveling pain, but it's not traveling.
Dimension door and
Actually, depending on how far away your layer is, you could theoretically dimension door there, because you're powerful enough that if you have enough of them, you could just sort
No,
of.
my dimension. Yeah, dimension door is a couple thousand feet. It's not miles and miles.
Okay, if you're miles and miles away, that's why I said if you were close enough. You're not, so okay.
he was 120 miles off course.
Damn.
How the hell did that even happen?
Bad luck.
I'm just
That
afraid
or-
that'll happen when I teleport back, and I'll be screwed.
As long as you don't teleport back to the peak. Back to my yourself. Poof.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab my spellbook, mutter to myself, and then attempt to use my last greater teleport back to the jail cell.
Alrighty. Could you make a spell resistance check?
Okie doke. That's caster level, straight caster level, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, spell resistance to overcome it. No, you add your casting modifier to that, definitely. Otherwise, you would be unable to get it past like a spell resistance of 20, like ever. Okay, not ever, but like it'd be much harder than it should be.
If your spell is being resisted by spell resistance, you make a caster level check. D20 plus caster level.
I
But I
he
do
used
have,
to add stuff to that.
but I do have
do you
spell
have-
pen, so
Okay, that's
you have
why you
spell
were adding
pen, then
stuff
go
to it.
ahead.
Okay, that explains that. That's why he was adding stuff. Okay, I'm not crazy.
Yep.
Yay.
not awful.
Yeah, that's solid.
Okay.
I see they had something set up at the prison. Makes sense.
Maybe it's the whole city. It could be the whole city, you know.
Yeah, I never did try to teleport into the city.
Teleport
Oh.
around the city, yes. Into, no.
Alrighty. You feel an odd sickening barrier in some unspeakable direction just as you start to phase between realities, but then you burst through it and find yourself in the cell to the sound of klaxons blaring everywhere. However, there's no one looking in your direction at the moment.
I'm going to lay down in my cot and sleep for 2 hours.
Oh, the sounds of klaxons blaring.
Everyone else, 3 minutes ago, there
What
was
the
a
fuck?
3 minutes
What the
ago,
fuck? Where's my
there was
gun?
there was a sudden distressing tearing sound in the air, followed by a somewhat muted thunderclap, followed by a loud blaring klaxon. The guards immediately got up and checked all the cells, and then ran off to parts unknown. And
Damn it. This is not how I want when to wake up. Why do we keep being waking up like this?
Oh, lady, grant me patience.
Can
And
she share some with me?
you couldn't hear anything, not even yourselves shouting or your own footfalls through the klaxons, so you didn't notice when the guards came back.
Stuff like
And-
beer in my ears.
After several minutes, the klaxons die down, and several
And
guards.
I yell at them, you think that was loud enough? Because I can't, I was basically deaf for that period, so I'm having to yell to hear myself.
Yes, all of you were.
I'm not
Also,
being aggressive, it's just I was deaf for 2 seconds there.
Faulted is going to take the easier route and just not talk.
Shenelar?
I'll let you guess. Nah, she's just gonna glare outward.
I just shouted, do you think that was loud enough? He meant for it to come out more like normal, but he forgets that, loud equals loud voice.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, there are several other guards, including one who looks like the day captain. He's dressed in the same uniform as Navarre was, but it's not Navarre.
Does he have a big feather in his hat?
No, but
Well, how are we supposed to know he's the captain?
He calls it macaroni.
you know he's the captain because of the carved symbols on his pauldrons.
That
Plus,
could
he
mean
keeps trying to
anything.
push his. Plus,
Well,
he
they're
keeps
the
trying.
same as Navarre's.
Ah, okay.
Plus, he keeps trying to push his peanut butter cereal on you.
I'd accept that. It's better than what I've been fed so far.
There's a bunch of conversation, a hushed conversation back and forth in the hallway and out in the stairwell.
Did they not hear the klaxons? I thought a hushed
Yes.
conversation at this point would be screaming.
Yes, that's why they're having hushed conversations.
So they're having hushed conversations that nobody can hear, like between each other. Because if they heard that klaxon and they were as close as we
you
were,
guys,
they're as deaf as we are.
They probably have earplugs on hand.
Those son of bitches. That's why they didn't pay any attention to us.
However, after some time, the guard captain makes his way over to Lindell's cell, sees him feigning sleep there, knocks on the bars with the hilt of his sword. Oi, you!
Yes.
You try to slip away in the night there?
Say I had to use the bathroom. Do it.
Look, sir, I'm told the Inquisitor is quite interested in speaking to all of you, and the night captain, wishes to extend how grateful he is that being so cooperative. But for that to continue, you have to stay cooperative.
Oh,
I haven't
I
budged.
wouldn't dream of going anywhere.
So if you need to use the chamber pot, it's in the corner there. Please don't be stepping out, or we might have to misinfer your intentions.
Of course.
Very well. The The herbalist will be by within the next few hours if you have any medical needs. That goes for all of you.
I have a need because you just deafened me.
And he leaves without any further commentary.
I can't believe this goddamn city. Somebody needs his smokies.
That'd just be hilarious. The herbalist comes around. Hey, got $20. You got any herb for me?
That would be something you could do in this situation, yes. I've got a pipe on me still, I presume. I guess I didn't take that, so, you know.
For some reason, I can't cast spells as well.
My aim is fucked up.
Dude, everything takes a fall round.
There's no DR for falling damage. Just push all the enemies off the cliffs.
Anyways,
That's why I have Battering Blast.
But you have to find a cliff first.
the
We
morning
just pick them up and
arrives.
throw them to you.
The morning arrives without anything else of note happening in the night that you guys don't inflict on me.
Nope.
Alright.
How's my rocket-powered stone horse coming?
You're pretty sure that you can make the mechanisms themselves. You just can't figure out how you can load that much coal into one horse. And you don't know of any higher.
Coal.
You don't know of any higher density fuels, so you're stuck on that point.
I need to invent new types of fuel. Damn.
If
That's
only
hard.
there was some sort of liquid suspended fuel.
Well, that's just impossible.
If only.
Yeah, and lantern oil just doesn't have the bang you need.
Yeah, I need my token so I can spell prepare.
Yep, you'll have it shortly, by the
Okay,
time
nope.
it becomes relevant. The Inquisitor arrives. And I was
Okay, he's just
expecting
arrived then.
I was expecting moans of "Oh God, not this guy."
I was
Yeah.
more like just gonna say something along the lines of, "Did you have a nice nap? Get breakfast in. Tackle the day ready while we sat here waiting for you."
Honestly, I sort of like this guy.
A forthright vigil never sleeps, Master Dwarf.
I don't know. Could have fooled me. Took you an entire day.
It took me the entire night.
Day, night. Took you longer than it took us.
Fulton will
Really?
absently look at the wall and see if there's another brick he can punch out that will fall on Groslin's head this time.
He's staying away from that particular point of the wall, by the way. He knows you're doing weird shit, so he's staying away from that part of the wall. What I'm saying is I'm quite tired of sitting here in a blank featureless cell waiting for you to show up. You've showed up. Can I come out now? I want to get a meal that isn't, like, probably rat. Just because I can survive on it doesn't mean it's fun.
He raps the point of his staff against the floor, and all 4 cells' gates swing open.
Show off. I leave and look around for my... I look at him first, going, "Well, is that it? Can we leave, or do you have something else?"
I will question you now.
Oh, fun.
I enjoy being questioned.
As Garozin was the first to willingly step out of his cell, he raps his staff on the ground again, and all the cell doors close.
Good job
At least I'm out.
volunteering.
She hasn't moved. She's just gonna sit there cross-legged on the ground, waiting.
Yeah, I'm just considering how my last being tortured went. I've decided that Lindal is just a masochist who likes being tortured.
Mm-hmm.
I plant my feet, stick out my beard, and prepare to face my fate like a dwarf.
I'm picturing you
Glowering.
sticking it out straight forward like a tongue.
A bit, yes. Do you misunderstand how dwarf beards work, but yes.
Please come with me, Master Dwarf. And he turns
I
and
turn to my
walks
friends.
out.
If I return and I've gone glassy-eyed and stupid, well, I'd really appreciate it if, you tore this man's head off. No offense, sir.
How will we
Just,
tell the difference?
Precautions. All right, let's get this over with.
That's a good point.
So yeah, I need to make it clear that if I come back glassy-eyed and stupid, please make this man suffer.
Did you completely miss what was said?
She did mutter it. He probably wouldn't hear it in character.
Yeah, probably wouldn't hear it in character either.
Uh,
It will remain a mystery. I follow the Inquisitor.
he gestures you to go head down the stairs.
Do we really?
And
Okay.
there's another guard there who leads you down the stairs, down to the 3rd floor, down to the 4th floor, and then through the door on the right.
And what is in the door on the right?
You step inside, and although the room was briefly lit by the door, it is promptly closed behind you, and you find that it is dark, and you're not used to that.
Huh. Door dark vision isn't working?
Nope.
Strange.
You then hear the Inquisitor's voice coming from above you somewhere.
Alright, that's not unnormal for me. That's just kind of, I'm a dwarf.
A little further above than usual, like 20 feet, not 3.
Okay, why are you flying, lad? Why am I in a dark room? This is pointless. It's not intimidating. I'm a dwarf. I'm used to this. Well, I mean, it's darkness, but,
We shall see about that. This
Is this
room
the
has
time when we start the torturing? Because this is going to take a while. I just want to get comfortable if we're going to start that.
I need to research some way of delivering dope slabs across great distances.
Talk to Lyndall. He's good at it.
I have to
So
be able to
many-
see them, though.
Yeah,
Get on with it then, creepy voice man. This is real intimidating. Ooh. Bloody hell,
It
wasting my time.
The darkness is not meant to be intimidating. The darkness is meant to be a simple aid to the rest of what we are going to do here today.
If you're going to look into my mind, you're going to have to break it first. Just saying.
That is on the schedule, yes.
Oh, fun.
In front of you, in the darkness, I can see what direction you're facing, don't you worry about that. In front of you in the darkness, you will find a chair. You should like to sit on it.
I should just sit and... Screw it, whatever. You have me by the balls. Whatever. Sit in a chair.
Excellent. You will notice that on the armrests there are straps. Could you put that around your left arm, please?
Just the left.
Well, you will need your right hand to tie it up.
Yeah, that's true. And you mind if I ask why? I can't exactly escape an entirely enclosed stone thing without, tools.
You're not supposed to escape.
I'm aware. I'm making clear that this whole get in a chair, strap yourself in is both pointless and dumb.
The point will become crystal clear very soon. Please have patience. That is a trait
You've
your
been
people
stretching
are
my patience
well
ever
known
since you put
for.
me in an entirely locked room going, well, it's time to be tortured.
There will be no torture here. Everything you do in this room will be completely of your own volition.
Okay, cool. Magic compulsion. Thank you for clearing that up. Woo! I fucking hate wizards. Can I not strap myself in?
I am afraid it is a necessary component of our work today.
You know what? It occurs to me that if I do this willingly, I'm basically surrendering my mind to you. So, but if I don't, you're going to do it the hard way, which probably involves magic, hot objects, and so on. So,
You would
fuck
like
it.
to prove your innocence, wouldn't you, Master Dwarf?
I'd love to, but you can find guilt in any being, you know that.
And that is my job. to determine whether your guilt is relevant to this city and its protection.
And you can make the argument that everything anyone does is, yeah, screw it, I'll start myself in. Whatever, get this over with.
Excellent. And your left leg, if you would. You will find a strap at your ankle.
Really? Do you not have anyone? Can you not do? Fine, whatever. I'd like to. He's an amazing sense motive. I'd at least like to try, cause screw it, to tie it without actually tying it tight enough to hold me, at all. Like, at all.
Okay.
If that's a sleight
You
of
want
hand,
to
I can
make-
do that.
You want to make a binding that looks like it's secure, but it actually isn't. I will accept an escape artist check for that.
All right, fair enough. It's about the same level of ability. A 22 total.
Pretty good.
So I've done that for both, if you're curious, because he was asking me to do both. I'll do both.
Okay.
So they're both just not actually secure, but they're on, technically.
Alrighty.
At least they look on.
And now the right leg?
I do the same thing I did with the other ones, and the whole, not actually secure, but secure. Looks
Excellent.
secure. Air quotes.
Now, if you would, I do just need to quickly take care of something first. If you'd just wait right there for me.
You gotta be kidding me.
Oh, this will end well.
You mutter that, but you hear a resounding silence from above.
I hate this city with a deep, abiding hate. And I wait.
The Inquisitor arrives outside the cells. The three of you still there. He, this time with much less pomp and ceremony, wraps his staff on the floor, and the cell doors open.
Fulton will step out, basically immediately.
Excellent. Closes them again. Please do follow me.
And he will do so.
Leads you down past the third floor to the fourth floor. Takes a turn, and you're led into the room on the right.
As a reminder, without his armor, scarring is very visible.
Yep. And the door is opened for you, and there's a pitch black room beyond it.
Which is odd for him as well.
Please, this should not take very long.
Very well. Go stumbling into the darkness.
The door is closed behind you, and you hear a voice from above. Excellent. This should go much quicker than with your dwarven companion. If you would, there in the room in front of you, you will find that there is a chair. Could you please sit down?
Fulton will sit.
Excellent. You'll find on the armrests there are straps. Could you please tie your left arm down?
I assume you will be handling the final arm.
It will be dealt with in time.
Roll sense of motive, you son of a gun. I can't do it because mine's crap, so you do it.
Yeah, well.
This is the most creepy vibe I've ever gotten from an Inquisitor since, that last one I played where I'm not going to get into it.
So this is the creepiest vibe you have from an Inquisitor since the last time you saw an Inquisitor.
Basically, yes.
Oh, don't worry. Oh, he's not creepy. He just wants to have sex with both of you.
Well, your taste is terrible, sir.
Well, Fulton shouldn't be wearing that belly shirt.
Mm.
Yeah, why did you dress like that if you didn't want him to have sex with you?
Seriously.
Those
well,
clothes are
Roll
like 10
sense motive,
sizes
damn you.
too small for you.
I want to
did
know what
roll
this
sense
creeper's up to.
Yes, he did roll sense motive.
I think his
Um,
motive is, I want to strap you to somewhere.
yeah, it's really hard to figure out what he's intending. You can't see his face. You can only hear his voice,
It was fucking
and
deliberate.
he hasn't let slip exactly what he's doing yet.
This is one of Fulton's faults, however, in that
Law-abiding
is-
citizen. Yes,
he
sir.
is
All the time I
totally
jump in my chair.
lawful, and this guy happens to be another, presumably, actually, he has to be lawful, basically, unless he's true neutral. Devout follower of a deity. So
Well,
yes,
you know,
evil.
he's secretly evil and just fucking with us and yada yada yada.
Well, he's still lawful if he's evil.
Yeah, it still could be evil.
So yes, he'll go strap himself in.
Excellent.
You're assuming he's the Inquisitor class because they call him Inquisitor. He's not necessarily.
Exactly.
Hmm.
He could be a mage or a cleric or fucked if I don't know.
Well, cleric would have the same restriction.
Yeah, no, I mean like you could be a Mystic Theurge, I think they're called. Yeah, Mystic Theurge could play up the whole false priest thing pretty easy.
Or he could be a false priest, which is actually a class.
Yeah, there's that
Yeah.
now. You can just do that.
Excellent. And you will also find that there are straps at your left and right ankles, if you would be so kind.
Well, go ahead and do that then.
Thank you. Now, as one man of the cloth to the other, I should like to make it very clear that you are not here to be railroaded into some false truth or into confessing to something that bears no real relation to our city. If you have any sins in your past, they are not relevant, insofar as they do not intrude on the safety of our grand city.
Oh crap!
You're doomed. You're flat out doomed. Run, son.
I see. Then this should go perfectly well.
It should. Everything that you will do here is going to be of your own free will.
My ass.
Out of character, that's a very creepy statement, but
Now pick a card.
he's totally here to just show us his magic tricks.
And it's all super fucking terrible. That's why no one ever wants to be there, and thus the straps.
What's your card? The Ace of Diamonds.
No!
What do you
I
mean?
picked the Ace
what
of
do you mean,
Spades.
no?
Very well. And you hear the sound above you. In between him speaking, you can still hear him moving about and breathing, but suddenly his voice cuts out and you're hearing complete silence from above for a few moments.
As far as I know, Fulton hasn't done anything illegal in the city.
I technically did something illegal, but, you know, my sins are very much overshadowed by, Lindall's, so I should be okay.
I technically murdered a guy who's a step below a nobleman for fun.
Didn't you murder, like, an old man, some guy who wasn't giving you information, some other guy who was being stubborn, and...
Quite a few people have died.
I murdered the guy in the book depository who tried to attack me when I tried to question him. And
This is the old
then
man you killed for no reason?
Then I tortured that guy who came looking for him, and then I killed that family man who was off on his way to work.
And the old man who was...
Oh yes, and the old man who I murdered for looking at me funny.
Yeah...
However, this does seem like the time where Fulton will actually learn of Groz and turning people into salsa, as opposed to actually doing a prison break without killing the guards.
Didn't do it on purpose.
You still turn someone into salsa.
You could revive him, literally. You could go out there, find his chunky bits, and turn him into a person again. Where is the harm?
Sure, if he knew.
Yet someone's not telling about it so they can fix it.
I was going to tell you as soon as we had this solved, it wasn't a priority. The guy isn't going to get any deader. Or less dead.
Well, that bounty's turned in. So, by the way, did I ever tell you about the time I accidentally killed a dude in the name of right?
That's when you get
Yeah, because if
that's
I
when you
tell
get the
you
flat
now in the
butt
middle
of
of
a
it, you're going to
sword
throw a
through your
hit.
chest.
Okay, well, let's get this over with, because I'm pretty sure my character is going to be murdered by the city guards.
You hear the sound of his presence return above you again. It
You
seems
still have
that
one more person you sacrifice.
it seems that it will take a few more minutes before your dwarven friend is quite ready to talk, so I shall begin with simply asking you, what was your intentions at the Harlot's Embrace?
At the time, we were seeking out possessions of our wizardly companion, Lindal. They had been stolen from him after his death, I suppose you could say, though he has obviously returned. We had managed to track one of his ring in particular to the location.
You hear the scribbling of a quill on paper. I see, and did you succeed?
Yes.
Very good. And what else
No,
may
we
have
failed and died.
happened? What else may have happened at the Harlot's Embrace that you were there to do?
I think Lindal slept with someone.
My only goal at the Harlot's Embrace was to assist the wizard in retrieving this. What else happened along the way was odd. I accept Lindal's explanation of it thus far, for his being attacked and thus prompting retaliation of sorts, and then
He was
those
turned into a
creatures were
plate.
revealed.
My notes here say that you were accosted by 4 figures in heavy copper armor, and that you yourself did accost, you and your companions, I should say, pardon me. You and your companions did accost 3 citizens of the town and another man whose whereabouts are as the moment unknown.
I
This
have
is
no.
an excellent time to mention the whole they're enslaving women with magic and drugs. I do remember that.
So my next character is a shadow mage.
Did Lindal actually tell anyone that?
Oh, yes, he did.
Yeah, you guys did. Garazin was guarding the guy.
Right.
Quite clear that we discovered that that's what they were doing.
I cannot speak on the man who disappeared, as I was not physically present when he did. It may have been invisibility, it may have been teleportation. I do not know. As for the other 3,
I never mentioned those to anybody, so if he's discovered this, it's through his own investigation, not anything I told anybody.
as for the other 3, I personally discovered them standing in a wall of fire and unable to move from it, evidently. I pulled them out and asked them questions about what exactly had happened to cause this, and they proved uncooperative. When they attempted to flee, we restrained them to keep them from doing so until their purpose in the matter had been discerned. We did learn some discouraging things about the establishment.
Yes, it is unfortunately on the books as a less than successful enterprise in the quelling of the darker aspects of the human spirit. However, little can be expected in such a destitute area.
Alton isn't quite sure whether to agree or disagree with that, but so we'll just stay quiet.
You would agree, wouldn't you, as a fellow man of the cloth, that sin tends to edge its way in from desperation?
Yes, that would indeed be a common cause.
Excellent. Very well. I'm afraid I must ask you to remain here in what uncomfortableness you have for just a brief while longer. I shall return.
I have endured worse.
Garazen,
Hmm.
you have been sitting in the darkness for you have no idea how long.
I'm probably
There's-
asleep at that point.
There's no means of telling time.
I'm definitely asleep at that point.
You can't really get off to sleep. It's
Well, that's
you're,
annoying.
you're just restlessly sitting up.
Fine, I just relax. Wish I had my pipe. Wait, I have a hand free. I have my pipe out. I'm smoking. Screw it. I don't care. I have a hand free. I can smoke.
Alrighty.
Smoke on the pipe. Wait.
I might as
Use.
well start smoking. I'm gonna die anyway.
Or worse.
At some point in this interminable period, you suddenly hear the return of the Inquisitor above. There's a
Puff,
brief
puff,
moment
puff.
where you can hear his breathing before he speaks.
Puff, puff, puff.
Ah, Master Dwarf, I see you have gotten yourself comfortable.
Comfortable as I'm allowed. I can't seem to fall asleep in here. You made me wait long enough.
I do apologize for that.
After 2 days of waiting. After 3 days of getting... I've done nothing but wait. You know what? Save lives, wait. That's what I do.
I am glad you agree.
Puff, puff, puff.
So, I have just a few questions to ask you.
I'm watching the smoke, by the way. What happens to it?
You can't even see your pipe. You're only smoking by feel.
Oh, wow. Not even like the light of the... Wow, okay. That is serious magic darkness. All right, continue.
When was the last time you were in the Yellow Tower?
Yellow Tower... I was in the Red Tower? Yellow Tower. I paid a visit to see about some dwarf child who got caught or something, trying to follow a lead. All right.
Ah, yes, I have the record here. The escaped Teb Woodrope.
Hmm.
Do you know if that's the child to whom you refer?
Possibly. If there's another dwarf child in there, then it could be the other one. I don't know why you're keeping dwarf children in any amount, but that's not my business, I guess.
Yes or no, please.
No, I don't know whether or not that's the bloody kid you were keeping in here. Wait, that's a lie. Sorry, apologies. No, I remember now. He did tell me the captain from that night. Sorry, it was like fucking 4 days ago. He did tell me that it was Teb, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he mentioned a name, and it was probably Teb. So there you go.
So you were in the Yellow Armory 4 nights ago?
I visited. I checked up to see if they'd let me in. They said no. That was that.
So you were not in the Yellow Armory?
I was at the Yellow Armory. What do you... circle talk.
I shall make things simple enough for you, Master Dwarf. When was the last time you were inside the Yellow Armory?
Like inside the building.
Yes.
Does that count inside the gate, or...
It is whatever you think it is.
Yes?
He has to win.
Are
Who's
we
in
inside
blinks
it
and
right
keep
now?
smoking? Oh, 4 days ago. Sorry. Like you said, they were 4 days ago.
Thank you, Master Dwarf. You shall find that forthrightness is the fastest way for you to escape those bonds.
Uh-huh.
And when you were in the Yellow Armory, how many people did you speak to?
None. Well, one, I guess. Like I said when I asked if I could see Teb. So, one.
Do you know his name?
No. Uh-uh. Even if he told me, I'm not gonna remember.
Then there were no others you spoke to while inside these walls.
No.
Very well.
No.
So would this figure be unfamiliar to you? And you see you see a sort of pool of light open up in front of you, and in
Ah,
it
my
is
eyes!
and in it is standing a, well, it looks like Teb, but it looks like, I don't know, a statue of him. You're pretty certain that it's just a static illusion.
I'm gonna ballpark it and assume that's the dwarf child Teb.
I am not sure. That is why I ask.
So you're asking me if I know about the dwarf child I didn't get to see? You are one confusing man.
No, I am asking if you spoke to this person.
Recently? Yes.
And did you speak to this person while inside the walls of the Yellow Armory?
I don't think so, no. I didn't get to see him in the yellow armor, I don't think.
Thank you
I
very
definitely
much.
saw
That will
him.
be all the questions I have for you.
Alright.
And you hear
Excuse me.
sudden stark silence from above.
Tiresome. I keep
You
smoking.
really should try to double talk around your lies more.
Gorzin doesn't have, he's not used to that. He doesn't have high charisma, he doesn't have a lot of people skills.
Yeah, I don't outright lie either. I use diplomacy to weasel around having to.
What's lying?
Give me a hug, it'll make us feel better.
I'm a lot like Cube.
The Inquisitor returns to the cell block, and Fulton is right behind him, and he gestures, and Fulton silently goes back into his cell as the doors open. And the Inquisitor looks expectantly in the direction of you two.
I guess I'm coming.
Good, because she wasn't going to move. She's just sitting there right now.
The doors close behind you again. And-
Detect magic is concentration duration, right?
I believe so, yes.
I'm gonna activate it before I leave.
Yes, just concentration, not concentration plus rounds or anything.
That's fine. I should be able to expend the standard action to concentrate on it for the next while.
Okay. Alright, I will need a knowledge arcana and a perception to deal with the relevant details of what you will see.
Okay, just a sec.
In
Knowledge
that order,
Arcana's-
please.
Okay, knowledge arcana is 26 and perception 17. Okay.
You can now quite clearly make out the abjuration aura that definitely had something to do with curtailing teleports, although clearly it's nothing as potent as a dimensional anchor. Or lock, pardon. Lock's the area one. And 28.
I should have just stayed in the mountain.
I beg pardon?
I should have just stayed in the mountains.
Yes, freezing to death versus this may have been preferable.
The Inquisitor and a guard lead you down to the 3rd floor, down to the 4th floor, and then into a room on the right. It is pitch black inside.
I'm guessing they have black light cast since he can see. Okay, I follow him in.
The guard gestures you in.
Okay, I go.
The door closed behind you, and it is pitch black inside.
Great, this again.
After a few moments, from up above you, you can hear the Inquisitor's voice. Hello. I'm afraid that before I can do anything, I need to sort out a couple details. I do not have any documentation of your name.
My name is Lindahl of Knight's Reach.
That will do for now. In front of you, in the darkness, you will find there is a chair. If you'd kindly sit down.
Very well. I'm screwed, I'm screwed, I'm screwed, I'm screwed, I'm screwed.
You are pretty
On-
screwed.
On the arms of the chair, you will find that there are straps. If you could kindly tie your left hand down.
Okay. Actually, I might not be as screwed as I thought because I still have my ring on. They didn't take it.
This is true.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I tie my arm down.
And also at each of your ankles, with the left first, if you please.
Very well.
There we are. If you're all comfortable.
Usually am when I'm tied up. Would be better if this was the first time this had happened this week.
So, I have a short series of questions to ask you. They shall mostly deal with your intentions. I just need you to answer honestly as possible.
Very well.
What were your intentions at the Harlot's Embrace?
I was looking for my lost ring. It is very
Nice.
dear to me.
I see. Is that the ring you're wearing now?
Yes.
Very well. And that was your only intention at Harlot's Embrace?
Yes, that I was looking for my lost ring. I recently lost some of my other items and was hoping it would be with them. Alas, hoping they would be with it. Alas, they were not.
That is unfortunate. However, if you have had items stolen from you within our city, you should report that to the guards.
Is there a question in that?
It's simply an observation. You need not worry about being pressured into answering any questions I give you. Everything you will do in this room is of your own free will.
Why do you keep saying that?
Now, I know you are wearing the ring, but I'm afraid I do need to ask this. Were you successful in your intentions at Harlot's Embrace?
I guess technically I would have to say no, because I was looking for the rest of my items as well.
Excellent. And when you discovered that sacrificial altar within the warehouse there, how did you discover it?
We had a discern location cast on my ring, and it was within there.
Hmm. I'm afraid I'm not up to date on wizarding lore. That is the name of some form of magic?
Yes, it. One of my companions had it prepared. It allows you to know the general direction and distance to an item you have touched in the past.
Okay, it's in your ball court. He knows nothing of arcane magic, and you know everything. Just keep it there. Keep the ball in your court, sir.
He's obviously lying about knowing nothing about magic. We're in a magic room right now.
But you can waste time.
So far, this has been pretty fine. As long as he doesn't start asking about the murders, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good on that front too.
Pray tell, how, as a wizard of your acumen, did you come to lose these items?
We all make mistakes.
That is a long story. How much detail would you like?
You may provide all the detail you like.
Okay, that's just annoying.
Okay, well...
It all started when I was born.
You're gonna want to sit down.
I was born in the frozen wastes of Alastria. No.
No, I seriously want you to do that, because I don't think he'd just gloss over. You probably leave halfway through and then like come back and be like, you're like, and that's why. And he's like, what?
If you would like to start there in character, I should ask you to fast forward to around about the time you guys teleported to the general region of Alastria to come in by horse, for the purpose of our poor viewers.
I'm
We
not
have
going to do that.
viewers?
At least
Yeah, we have
two.
like 2 of them. Yeah.
Hooray! Internet fame is ours.
No, I'm just going to... Well, there was a... we were looking for a man who desecrated a temple north of here. It came to my attention that it may be a one Havelock Hart. So I was doing surveillance around his mansion when I was teleported into the area where he was and knocked unconscious, where he tortured and murdered me. But luckily I had a clone prepared, so my soul transferred into that. Unfortunately, all of my items were on my body. He appears to have flushed most of them down the toilet,
Which I am just frankly insulted by.
which sort of angered me, honestly. This is real good stuff.
You hear the scratching of a quill on paper for quite some time after you finish speaking.
Notes: possibly insane. Must investigate further.
Entire group clearly showing varying levels of insanity. Let's investigate. Let's find the source.
Excellent.
Don't ask me for more detail. Don't ask me for more detail.
And is there anyone... your companions seem to believe that they were simply helping you to find some lost items. They have not mentioned this, Lord Hart.
Oh, we have discussed this. We came into the city looking for him on the orders of the Ministry of Adventuring. I did present my papers to your guardsmen.
I shall have that looked into. Hold on just a second, guys. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that.
Okay. Oh,
I do.
so yeah, adventure. Uh, perhaps they didn't bring it up because you simply asked what our intentions at the Harlot's Embrace were, and our intentions there were just to retrieve our items.
This is true. If he had asked, like, what's our intentions elsewhere, we would have,
Indeed, if it were at all relevant, it would have been asked.
fuck you too.
Let's see here. And the name you have given me, that is the one you have registered at the ministry?
Yes, that is the name I am registered under with the Ministry of Adventuring.
Excellent. Okay, I need to deal with a couple things before I can release you. If you'd kindly remain here for just a short while.
I don't see what other options I have.
Thank you. I have been waiting for someone to say that all day. And you hear the voice go silent from above.
Say what? I don't have any other options?
Let's see here. Colton,
Yes.
you are still waiting in the darkness.
Hadn't I been brought back?
Nope.
No, they saw the Inquisitor bring you back. However, you are still waiting in the darkness.
Oh, fun.
They brought back an imposter? That's awesome.
It would
Or
work better if the
disillusion.
last person allowed in there was actually talkative.
And you hear the sound of the Inquisitor return above you. Ah, I have just one or two more things to bring to yours and mine mutual attention before we can release you, good sir.
Very well.
If you will, by what name do you know your traveling companion in the Octarine robes?
Lindal. He may have titles, but he's either not told them to me, or I was simply not listening, as they are not important.
Ah,
Nice.
Very well. And when you were seeking at the Harlot's Embrace to return his items to him, are you certain there was nothing else that you were there to carry out?
actually, I don't think we were there for any other reason. Like, there was no, like, lead that would lead us to what we're looking for, so you could legitimately say no. 'Cause that was literally the only
I'm
reason.
aware.
Yeah, no.
We literally were only there for the ring.
Yeah, we weren't, but he seems to think we were, so there must be something going on.
Yeah. I'm suspicious as all hell about this.
Inquisitors kind of see things everywhere, even if there aren't any.
Yeah,
It's
that's
part of
true.
their job.
He's just naturally paranoid, but he's going about it in the creepiest way he possibly can.
He's an Inquisitor.
I'm gonna roll up an Inquisitor who's fucking nice. He's gonna be a cool person and hand out, like, sweets and shit.
I'd
And I'm
just
gonna roll up.
I
you
just
roll
play
up
a
an
40k
Inquisitor who's
Inquisitor.
nice. You roll up an Inquisitor who's nice. I'll roll up Paladin who's a dick, and we'll have some fun.
Yeah, go
Yeah.
for it.
Okay,
It don't make
anyway.
any sense. Also, a 40k Inquisitor's nightmare. She would have already gotten to the torture. He wouldn't even ask any question. Just like stab, stab, stab,
No,
stab,
he would have
stab.
just blown up the city and left.
Yeah, pretty much. It has been
Our-
cleansed in fire.
Go ahead, Kusum.
Our only goal at the Harlot's Embrace was to find Lindal's ring, at least as far as I'm aware. It was certainly not our only goal in the city, but the Harlot's Embrace was best described as an unfortunate but necessary detour, which did lead to the discovery of that altar, so it is not entirely unfortunate if such evil can be rooted out.
Indeed. Your friend says that he had lost his items while following up a lead he had on someone who. I'm sorry, he refused to spell the name for me. Do you happen to recall whom he was investigating?
Do
A
not say the hero. Do
nobleman.
not say the hero.
A nobleman with the name of Hart. His first name was something alliterative. Hart, I believe, as if the spelling of the organ without the E.
Heart bacon grease or something. I don't know his name.
But
Very well.
yes, his items were lost when the nobleman in question captured, tortured, and killed him. At least in his words. I was not there for the event.
Indeed, it would appear not. Very well. You may untie your bonds,
Fulton will do so.
and a guard will be along to let you out shortly. I'm afraid I have pressing business to see to.
Of course.
Garazan,
Hmm. Still smoking.
you're sitting there in the darkness, smoking. Probably
Not the most-
fuming as well, but
Middling.
And the room is filled with carbon dioxide and he passes out.
Ha! Victory is mine. They can't question me if I'm passed out.
you hear a voice return above you.
Puff, puff,
Ah,
puff.
Sir Dwarf,
Aye.
I'm afraid I'm having a very difficult time spelling your name.
Seriously? That is the dumbest, stupidest, least subtle way of trying to get my name out of me I've ever heard of in my life.
I am
You
not trying
have
to
my
get.
name, you have it on papers, there's absolutely no excuse for this.
What
You're just
papers,
trying to-
pray tell, should I have your name on?
Yeah, I was in the Red Armory, I told you that.
The
The
Red
whole Mimic
Armory?
incident? You can't tell me you don't know about that. You did not come in here
yes.
unprepared completely. You
Yes.
have my name.
Yes, I do. Thank you for pointing me towards that. You may untie yourself now.
Bloody hell. I I untie myself, finger quotes.
Mm-hmm.
And I make I'm untied, so he didn't say to do anything else.
Excellent. If you will turn to your right and take 6 steps forward, you should find the door. Do not be too hasty. I would not want you to blunt your nose upon it.
I do as he says. 6 steps, carefully.
It should be open.
I open the door, making sure to shield my eyes from the inevitable light spasm.
Actually, you feel a doorknob, you push it open, but you see pitch blackness beyond.
This appears to go nowhere.
I assure you, just step through.
In for a calf, in for a cow. I walk through.
You plummet into the darkness.
Whee! Still holding my pipe. Woohoo!
Shinalar.
Yes.
The Inquisitor returns to the cell block, with Garazan in tow, who mutely and quite despondently trudges back into his cell. The doors, when of course the doors open. Miss, I believe you are the last that I need to question.
Hmm. Well, does her door open?
Yes.
Should I assume? Okay, she'll stand and follow. Doesn't look happy about it, as much as you can tell underneath all of that.
Wait, she was a drow the whole time? Hot.
Not the usual reaction to Drow.
About expected from Windell, though.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, wife burst in with a question there.
Okay.
There we go. So the Inquisitor and the guard lead you downstairs to the 3rd floor, to the 4th floor, and into a room on the right. The door is opened, and the guard gestures you in. It is pitch black within.
She'll enter the room without complaint.
The door's closed behind you, and you're in complete darkness. After a few moments, you hear a voice from above. Hello. We shall be conducting just a brief interview is the best word for it. If you would, several steps in front of you, you will find a chair. If you would kindly sit down in it.
Without responding, she will sit.
There are straps on the armrests. If I could get you to kindly tie your left arm down.
I refuse.
Okay, this is gonna be interesting.
Not entirely optional in this conversation.
I will not bind myself.
Oh, we're not asking for anything so extreme as binding, just a loose knot.
I see no difference.
I'm afraid I do. This conversation is to determine your innocence in the involvement of many evil agents here in the city. And I am sure you would like to be found innocent.
My innocence has no place under bindings.
I would say if you can't determine her innocence or guilt purely on whether or not she'll bind herself, you're terrible at your job.
You're very welcome to say that to his face.
I'm going to if it comes
Yell it
up.
from the pit.
If she won't bind herself, she's obviously guilty.
She floats on water. Clearly, she's a fucking witch.
Exactly, he's an Inquisitor.
Note to self: shoot this man.
Witches are made of wood, therefore they float.
No, that's ducks. Ducks float.
Witches are made of ducks. So, what does our impassable friend say?
Madam, I am afraid that if you do not lend me at least some measure of cooperation, I cannot in any good conscience allow you to be released.
I will answer your questions. That is all.
Well, if you will not submit to one form of binding agreement, perhaps you will submit to another. Would you, for the sake of argument, lower your defenses to a examination of the truth?
He wants to cast Zone of Truth on you.
Either that or discern lies.
The problem
one or the
is
other.
there's so many things he could do otherwise to her that count as the exact same thing.
Yeah, he could just dominate you, you know.
Yeah.
That's what I'd do.
Actually, I actually have something you could say that actually kind of makes sense. If you cannot discern the truth with your own kenning, you're a terrible Inquisitor. Or something along that line.
I
Like,
still
why
think
would you need
using the
magic?
phrase "you are a terrible Inquisitor" would be an awful idea.
Now let's challenge him to inquisit harder.
You're bad
No,
at your
if
job.
he has to return to
Stop
magic just to
sucking
get the
so
basic
bad.
truth out of someone, he's not that good at his job.
Honestly,
I prefer torture myself.
she's not going to dignify this with a response.
To be fair, the usual Inquisitor thing is to intimidate them until they tell the truth, but that doesn't do anything to player characters.
Mm-hmm.
I guess you got a point there. For some insane reason.
Well, technically, you could roll it and the player should play it, but most of the time they just won't. So
I'd play it if he threw an intimidate check at me, but he hasn't, so...
Very well. I see we're going to have very little luck here. If you could please rise. To your right, about 5 or 6 steps, you will find a door that you may leave through.
well, at least she and Garazan are gonna get to spend the night together.
That'll be fun.
That's a really good way to phrase that.
Yep. She's much better than me at games.
I cannot wait for the half drow, half dwarf child.
It'll just be a
Come
dwarf child, or
come
it'll just be a
on,
drow
guys.
child. We can't have half
No,
dwarf.
I
It just doesn't happen.
I don't want this in no mental image.
And short drow with a beard.
No.
God damn it.
Ha! Victory's mine.
Okay, she'll rise, and just follow the instructions.
You feel a door, you find the doorknob, push it open, and it's still pitch black beyond.
Well, she'll take the step. She doesn't know much better.
She plummets into the darkness, and you may take the opportunity to feather fall, since I know that's one of your known spells.
She has it in a wrist sheath, technically. A wand for it.
I'm just gonna
Oh.
thud on the ground like a goddamn meteor.
It's spring-loaded, but it is still in a wrist sheath.
Right. Let me check here how far a fall it is. Because it needs to be at least 60 feet for you to have time to get it out, right?
I think so. Let me check again.
It's not so much the wrist sheath as it is the using a wand that you
Yeah,
need the
wrist
time
sheath
for.
is pretty much
You know, wrist sheath
instant.
is a free action to draw out a wand. It's just like
Yeah.
bing.
Okay, so it's the activation of the wand that you need the time for. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Featherfall's an awful spell to have on a wand.
Well, I wasn't going to waste one of her precious slots on it.
It's also really cheap, so you know.
Mhm. All right. You are plummeting into the darkness. So, if you would like to make the use magic device check, which if I remember right, you do need. Last time we did it, you needed it.
Yeah, she should require it.
Was that should or shouldn't?
She should. She has lots of points in it.
Okay. All right. Yep, that's good. All right. You steady your fall and set gently to the ground. Some time later, the ground feels awful soft, and it doesn't feel like you've landed on flagstones or moss. And then the ground complains. Razin.
Motherfucking goddamn it, stupid mother. I hate this city.
Suppose she'll step off of him.
Get off me.
You find firm flagstones under your feet.
Can we see?
No, it is pitch black.
Well, fun.
You
I
are
sit
likely
up,
to be eaten
make
by
sure
a
my
brew.
pipe's okay.
Is Vin Diesel in here?
Right? I don't know where we are, why we're here, but the Inquisitor's a bastard, and I'm seriously thinking nasty thoughts about him right now.
Mhm.
You shouldn't have lied to him.
Yeah, that'll progress.
Fulton,
Yes.
you're escorted back to your cell, and you see that all 3 of your traveling companions are already in their own cells.
Okie doke.
And the Inquisitor asks, I do need to just verify a few things and make sure all my notes are together before I can release you all. So if you'd please just wait in your cell, it should not be more than an hour.
Bolton just nods again. Doesn't seem too bothered about the whole thing, really.
Okay. Could I get you to make a sense motive?
Yes. That's. There it is.
That's not really Lindall. That's a pumpkin on top of a garbage bag.
Actually, there's a couple of flaws I've already noticed with my clone. So, you know.
Like he's not talking?
Yeah, there's
That's
that.
pretty much it.
That's
no,
a
the
pretty
beard.
big one.
I bet,
Because you,
like, anything on this
because
planet, he got the beard wrong. Everyone gets the beard wrong because they're not dwarves. They don't get it.
because you need to roleplay it correctly, I will tell you that you did not meet the DC of 25 to recognize Gorazin not speaking up with some biting insult or remark as to how timely or how long you were being made to wait.
A shame.
Okie doke.
Do you freely go back into your cell?
There appears to be nothing wrong, so yes.
Okay. And remember that you can talk to your companions freely, but you don't really have direct line of sight to any of them. The Inquisitor leaves, and you notice that the two guards have also been dismissed sometime while you were gone. So it's just the four of you in there.
See, now that is interesting. So Fulton will speak up now. Have the guards always been gone?
Lindahl speaks up. They've disappeared, probably to find more cards. I may have been playing silly buggers with their cards.
Not sure that's enough to make a sense motive check, but there's also the fact that Fulton has no idea what that means.
Well,
I don't think he's ever said in his life the word silly buggers without being
phrase.
in, like, you know Fulton at least long enough to know that the word like silly buggers has never passed his lips seriously, so it's a little
This is
weird.
true.
Like, we've actually seen him in character, like in when he's pretending to be someone else, and we know that when he's that someone else, finger quotes, it's like, obviously it's like soul pain for him. So I just don't see him saying silly buggers. He just doesn't seem like that kind of person. That's just me.
I will roll
Hey there,
another
I'm
then,
Linda-
and you can use it or not.
Hi there, my name's Troy. How's it going?
Wow. That's a 1.
Yep.
Wow, you fail.
Blissfully
You're
ignorant.
perfect. You look around and you notice that the cards do seem to be scattered about from the table, and some of them seem to be stuck to the ceiling.
Fulton will shrug and accept the explanation.
That's amazing.
Actually, now what's funny is that the real Lindahl will find out about this and be like, "That's actually kind of fun. Let's do that." And he starts doing that to people.
I wouldn't play with their cards. I'd just give them excruciating deformations.
Yeah, you're kind of an asshole.
Any other conversation you would like hold with your friends now that you're in private, there, Fulton?
Yes. Was everyone asked solely about the Heartless Embrace, then?
You hear a trio of yups in various in various accents.
Aye, yar. Well, hi. Just so on forever.
Yeah, mate, totally. This is my voice.
Just like dozens of fucking accents echoing off.
And unfortunately, that is about as much as Fulton would talk.
Okay.
And who knows how long
Meanwhile,
it'll...
Gorazin is considering blowing his way out of this place. He has gunpowder, and he's just sort of considering.
Yeah, who knows how long it'll be before Fulton realizes, hey, Garaza's not talking. What the hell's going on?
And
He must be asleep.
Gorazin, I'm not sure the guards will be susceptible to that kind of charm from you.
At this point, throwing me in a cell, not saying anything, like, Gorazin is seriously considering cutting and running to this nonsense. It's just not worth the paycheck to deal with these people.
Ian picked up on what I said. Lindahl!
Yeah.
I wish I hadn't. I wish I hadn't.
I picked up on it. I just wasn't going to comment.
Lindahl!
Flew over my head, the dwarf that I am.
Yes, what's going on with me?
You hear the Inquisitor return. I believe I have everything straightened out and in order. You the ties at your ankles. You may go ahead and undo them now.
Very well, and I do.
And the one at your left wrist.
Very well, and I do.
Excellent. Straight in front of you, about 5 or 6 paces, you will find the door to exit, and we shall escort you back to your cell.
Very well. I take the 5 or 6 paces and open the door.
You see pitch blackness beyond.
Oh, I see where this is going.
Join us in the hole!
Okay, I go down.
No. That is the door on the right.
Okay.
You step forward, and although you, like everyone else, was kind of expecting the light to return as you stepped into the undarkest corridor, everything stays dark, and you do hear the door slam shut behind you.
As you float there eerily.
No, there's solid ground under his feet.
Oh, that's good at least.
Always good to have ground.
After a few moments, there's also a burning sensation at his feet.
Son of a bitch.
Okay, maybe I was a bit hasty in saying it's always good to have ground.
Like burning like fire or burning like athlete's foot?
The room begins getting steadily hotter.
See, this is why I needed my token to prepare spells.
The Inquisitor came to you quite early in the morning.
Turns out you're a vampire. It's just the sun. He turned you into
No,
one.
right, you only sleep 2 hours.
I only sleep 2 hours, and it only takes me 15 minutes to prepare all my spells.
And he had his book, so we would
Check loot and inventory, the token dead center, if you please.
Thank you.
You have not yet recovered from your terrible frostbite, however, unless you have healed yourself in the night.
No. Okay, if there's anything you can do with someone else, do it. It's gonna take me a minute to, prepare.
Razan, Shinalar.
So, you want to just leave this with the whole, like, just leave, because this is starting to really tire me out.
I'm not really sure I'd be able to teleport out of this after what's happened with Lindell.
Screw teleporting. Summon a T-Rex, just summon a bunch of moles and dig our way out.
Actually, unless Lindell told you what
Well,
what
that's fair
happened,
point.
all you know is that he was given a stern talking to about stepping out by the guard captain.
We can either teleport, or we can summon moles and dig our way out, or I can work on, engineering my way out. It's a wall. I'm a dwarf. I'll get us out. I wish I had more tools, but
I think the first thing is let's feel the circumference of this pit.
fair enough.
We know how big this area is.
You walk about with a hand on the wall, and measuring it out and occasionally bumping into each other, you find that it's about 20 feet on a side, pentagonal, not square, and after when you're almost done a full lap, you hear something. You feel like you've kicked something in the darkness, and you bend down to feel what it is. After a few moments, you can clearly make out that you've just kicked a skull.
Well, that's all the proof I need. Yep, that Inquisitor's
Yeah.
rotten to the core, not surprised, gonna put a bullet in his head. Alright, how do you want to get out? Like, that's just dead, and bam. Also, we might want to do it quick, just, you know.
We have two options. Either we can simply teleport away and hope they have no defenses whatsoever,
Unlikely.
or we can go brute force.
Fuck this city. I'm at the point where I might just want to leave, so I'll leave it up to you whether we dig our way out with some kind of brute force, or you want to risk teleporting in, possibly just ending up either nowhere or somewhere we don't want to be.
I'm just applying that fall damage.
Yeah.
You know, I do find it funny that you're calling the Inquisitor corrupt when he did his job, and the only one who didn't lie is the only one who actually got to go.
I didn't lie.
Well,
It's
sure,
true.
but you refuse. That's basically contempt of court in his world.
I didn't lie.
Also true.
Hey, I offered to answer any of his questions.
Mhm.
Yeah, if he's throwing us down into the death pit because we didn't want to strap ourselves to a chair for him, yeah, no, this is corrupt. This is the point where law has gone too far. Especially to chaotic people.
Oh, just a question. I never stopped concentrating on my detect magic. Is this fire that's burning me magical?
It's... hold on just a second.
Yeah, even it being dark shouldn't stop my detect magic.
Yes, that is just what I'm double checking, and yeah, you need line of sight, but the presence of magical darkness shouldn't interfere with it. So, no, it doesn't. The heat at your feet does not appear to be magical or alliteration. That was just an artifact of language.
I'm currently trying to figure out what the best thing to summon to get out of this would actually be.
Anything with a burrow speed that leaves behind a noticeable hole. Purple worms. Something small than a purple worm is fine too. Just saying.
Here, could you please summon Shai Halud in this little pentagonal dungeon? That'll dig us out for it.
It will. You gotta tell me, if you had the power to summon that guy, you wouldn't do it. Can't tell me that. Meanwhile, I determine what the walls are made of. Anything tougher than just stone.
Damn it! I pressed the wrong thing. Just a second.
Man, I was hoping like an earth elemental would actually be able to affect an earth.
And no, they sort of glide through it like it's water. They're weird. That's to determine if the walls are made of anything besides just stone, including the floor. And ceiling? I can't see the ceiling, so screw it. Floors and walls.
Yes, and you could not reach the ceiling either way. And I'm not just meaning because you're a dwarf. If you stood
I had to fall to get here. They just stone?
Yeah, it seems to be a much higher quality of stone and much more recently built too than the rest of the tower or jail rather.
Recently built, different stonework. Still not dwarvish, but solider than the old tower, obviously. Yeah, any kind of like creature that has a burrow speed that goes through rock is fine. So pick something.
If only there was an easy way to search for that.
Anything that's honestly the simplest way: a purple worm that's not big, just a small purple worm. It's like basically a purple worm with a youth template. Bam.
Okay.
Or a Bulette, actually, that'd work too. Ratch polymorph. Nice. I'm not mocking you. That's a lot to go through.
It's a lot to type twice. Yes.
Yeah, it's a pain in the ass. I'm not like Pokemon.
Yep.
Reach polymorph any object may come in handy.
Yes, it will.
Does it normally have medium or short range?
I think it's like touch.
Actually, no, I think it's close. Let me double.
Default is
Oh, there it
close,
is.
yes. So that makes it medium.
So wait, how much space do we have here? Because this thing's huge.
It's 20 feet on a side, and it seems to be 5-sided. So a bit noticeably more than 400 square feet, but you haven't walked across the middle yet, so.
Sure, why not? Let's just let's try it.
You gonna summon yourself a young
Yeah.
purple worm?
No.
Oh no, Mulet. Okay. Well, that's a different picture.
Yeah, the SRD's been changing things up so that they comply with the OGL again.
I like the classic Mulet better. Well, not the super classic. I think the 3.5 one the most, I think.
Yeah,
I
the
just like the way
problem
it
with the
looks.
classic Bullet art and most of the other old art that they've had on here is that it's actually the property of Paizo or Wizards, and they're not actually allowed to carry it.
Yeah. Well, I know what a Mulet looks like, so that's good enough for me.
Looks like you got permission from Fat Goblin Games, though, so.
Alright, Mulet it is.
Bullet.
Generally
Technically
huge
summon
size.
more, but I don't think that's a good idea.
No, one is good. We're trying to get out, not turn this entire place into a completely flat zone.
Are you sure? That sounds like a great idea, actually.
Yeah, I actually am. Now I'm tempted. Tell you what, if one Mulet doesn't do it, or we get out and the Inquisitor is really bugging us, then I say we summon as many Mulets as possible and turn this entire thing into a very flat dwarven mountain. Like, opposite mountain, you know? Like a, what's the term for that? It's like a caldera, it's something else. Not a
Anyway,
crater, there's a term
just as a
for when
reminder,
it's-
the Bullet will only leave a usable tunnel behind it if it is burrowing through firm material.
Mm.
Okay, if it gets to loose soil, it'll tell us, I presume.
If it digs through loose soil, it'll just collapse behind it.
Yeah, I am aware of that. Once we get to the soil part, the problem is solved.
Well, we just have to put it at an upward incline.
Pretty much.
They can deal with it once what it pops, like the cafeteria.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. All right.
I have a gun. I still can kill shit, so you know I'm happy. I want my actual gun back.
Yes. You hear a somewhat confused and annoyed Bullet appear in the darkness. And you hear the crunching of a lot of bones under its feet as it mills back and forth in the blackness.
Oh, that's nice to know. So now I'm doubly sure we need to get the hell out of here. Real quick, I'm just gonna roll engineering. Actually, would this be engineering or survival to know which direction is which? I have a compass.
Can you see
Can you
it?
see it?
No, that's true. Hold on, let me look over what I have for survival.
We really just need to go up.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Screw it. Does it go up? Up it is. I want to go in a direction that's not like
into the river.
Yeah. That would be the preference.
How about you start with up?
Yeah, as sharp an incline as it can manage.
Because
I hate climbing,
I'm
but
not
let's do
certain.
it.
I'm not certain you can make the disable device check necessary. I don't think you have ranks in it. I don't think you can make the disable device check to disassemble your compass enough to get at the needle that's under the glass mounting without also losing the needle in the darkness.
Yeah, no, I'm not even going to try that. I'll just up is up.
Yep. Okay.
And hey, we'll expose this horrible charnel pit that they can fucking explain.
Mm-hmm.
And hey, it's celestial too, because why not?
Yeah, why not? Also, that might, if it was fiendish, we might actually have different questions.
Yep. So, Shinolar.
All aboard the Bullet train, choo-choo.
I don't think we want to ride it.
No, I mean, to just follow the hole it makes up.
And yes, she'll instruct it dig upwards as much as you can manage, and then they're going to try to follow it by sound, I suppose.
Or just follow the hole.
You don't want to be too close. You're going to be hit by everything it's digging.
Yeah, that's true.
You give it the telepathic suggestion of dig out and up, and after a few moments and a few crunches across the floor, you hear a thwud against the wall, followed by another thwud, and then lots of scrabbling and scratching.
And I don't know how fast this thing can dig, but Gorzen waits the usual 25 seconds for dwarf digging rules and then follows the sounds. Using his hand to guide himself along the wall.
You run into a billet that is furiously scrabbling and tearing at the brick, but not getting much purchase.
Lad, this thing isn't finding purchase. And that's troubling, because this is just normal stone. I think this stone might be enchanted. You're going to either have more bullets or something nastier, or give this one more time. One of the three.
She'll command it to back off. Back away from the wall. Gorzen,
Okay.
could you check if it's made any progress whatsoever?
I look, I feel along the wall for scratches, indents, anything.
There are plenty of scratches in the stone, and they go no deeper than a couple inches.
Only
In
a couple
fact,
inches.
They become perfectly smooth and flat a couple inches down.
Yep, this is going to be a problem.
Meanwhile,
right,
in the hotbox, Linval.
Okay, just a sec. I'm going to abuse polymorph any object the best way possible. Because a swarm is considered a single creature. I'm going to turn myself into a swarm of ghosts, fire elementals. That'll stop the fire.
He's not wrong. His madness is perplexing, but he's not wrong.
Alright, 1 second here.
A swarm of diminutive ghost fire elementals. Stacking up the templates. That would be a 20-minute.
Yeah, I am making sure that that's possible.
I'm pretty sure elementals can become undead. Well,
Um,
incorporeal
I'm
undead.
not.
I don't know.
I'm not certain you can become incorporeal though.
We've done that before. I became a ghost to look around that place.
Yeah, he did. This is true.
Right. Okay, but I am going to force you to change one thing. You are not becoming an intelligent swarm without changing into something that is normally an intelligent swarm.
Damn. Okay, I'll just become a ghost fire elemental then. That makes it the same size at least, so I get to maintain that for an hour.
Let's see here. Same size. Same or lower. You are quite clearly aware of both forms of thing. Okay. For 3 hours, actually, unless you are trying to raise your intelligence as well.
You can't with the spell.
Yes. So same or lower intelligence is also counts as +2. Same
Okay, that's
size,
fine.
same or
I
lower.
will be a ghost fire elemental for 3 hours then.
Okay. That burning heat no longer seems to affect you.
Well, I'm going to try to get the hell out of this place now.
You just leave.
You have to stay within 5 feet of a wall if you're incorporeal. It's different from being actually phased.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just going to have to fly through walls until I can get out of here.
Okay. Which direction are you heading?
I'm going to try straight up first.
Although it is still pitch black, you feel the presence of a wall 5 feet from the wall, but after a minute of poking about, you do manage to find a vent leading upwards.
Awesome. I will follow the vent.
Let's see here.
Bastard tried to kill me.
I'm starting to think everyone in this entire city just wants to kill you.
At this point, I say I just nuke the place.
I might honestly be on your side. This is getting ridiculous.
There, I got rid of Havelock Hart by
I'm pretty
destroying
sure
the
he's
city.
dead. We're like 90% sure.
Nothing could have survived that explosion.
You emerge out from out of the chimney of what looks like a civilian house right beside the Yellow Armory.
This would be a good time to investigate, says I, and start taking some serious vengeance.
Well, it's going to be 3 hours till I can cast spells, so I might as well look around the place and investigate.
Mm-hmm.
And try to find my party members.
By the way, you're probably not invisible by default, right?
No, I'm just incorporeal.
You're just freaking people the fuck out.
Yeah,
You killed me with fire. This is what I've become.
Pretty much.
Alrighty.
Actually,
Hmm?
I have to check the general rules on polymorph. I'm pretty sure because I became an elemental, all of my equipment was subsumed into my form, so I can't even use my invisibility ring.
No, if
Yes.
it's constant, yes, but it's not, no.
Yes, it is subsumed. Until reversed.
Yeah, if I just became a ghost, no, but because I'm an elemental ghost, yeah.
Yep.
Dancing pile of flame coming through.
What a shame you didn't go diminutive as well. I am the translucent flaming pixie of doom.
Beware my power!
Okay, so I'm going to try to find my party members. I'm going to start by trying to find the priest, since for some reason I get along better with him than anybody else.
Because that makes sense.
Hey, they don't have a problem with each other yet. They just don't talk. She doesn't talk.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm going, and I think it would be logical to assume I actually did shit, so I'm just going to assume that the Inquisitor somehow knew I did shit and was going to kill me for it. But the priest has never done anything, so I think he probably would have been escorted back to his cell, so I'm going to go look for him there.
Logical.
Priest as in Fulton?
Yep.
No, for part of that, I
No.
took
Priest
that
isn't this
literally.
one guy he talked to and confessed his sins to.
Well, I had to make
That
sure.
old guy I murdered?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, how's life been since I killed you?
great.
Heaven is awesome.
Killing me was the best thing anyone ever did for me.
Reminds me of
Makes you no
this
less
skit.
of an asshole.
Reminds me of this skit. How's your old dad? He hasn't written since he died. Oh, I hope he isn't ill. Anyways,
It's funny on so many levels. All right, go on.
Garazin and Shinalar.
You want to teleport? You want me to figure out what can get through this magically enchanted stone? Or you want to summon something bigger and meaner?
Well, you don't know that it is, or anything right now.
I've already checked the stone. It's normal stone, so it's either a magical normal stone, or this is the weakest Bulette in the history of the world.
She's
And
going to
the
assume it, even though she has no proof.
And the stone has been, as far as you can feel with your fingers in the dark, the stone has been scraped away, revealing a smooth surface.
So what
There's
is
something
the
else here.
smooth
Hold on.
surface?
Hold on. Hey, can you provide any kind of magic light? It's starting to piss me off. I'll wait while you look over.
Well, I don't think it's going to work.
I had to ask.
I mean, most things that are light-based, and if we can't see in with dark vision, they're not going to work. I mean, sure, she'll try casting a light cantrip, but I don't expect much.
Alright. You cast the level 0 light spell, and there's a brief spark, and it's just as quickly swallowed up in darkness again.
You got anything stronger?
Not that would affect you. Or me.
Shame. But, I feel lucky and sort of a betting man. That's either adamantine or at least iron. So that Bulette isn't going to claw through that anytime soon. If that's iron... Can you summon a rust monster? I'm going to assume yes.
Sorry, I was interrupted for a second there.
I actually don't see it on my list.
Well,
Let me just double check.
Are you limited entirely by the list? Like nothing but the list?
Unfortunately, the list does exist for kind of that sort of reason.
Oh damn,
Yeah.
there goes my clever idea.
I mean, even for me to get those spiders I summoned before, I had to go take a feat outside of the list.
Well, there goes my super clever fucking idea. Well, do you know anything else that eats metal and or dissolves it easily? Something that spits acid, maybe? I'll take a dragon. I really will.
I can't summon dragons.
Can you summon something that spits acid?
Well, that's just
Preferably in
something that can
copious
teleport
amounts.
you.
Well, we can just teleport at this point because, well, you're just gonna have to risk it.
If you can just summon something that can spit acid, I at least want to try that first.
Well, your character wouldn't know there's any danger teleporting. You haven't looked for it.
Mm-hmm.
No, I haven't,
only
but I'm
thing that
not
she
going to
has
risk
off her
it because I
assumption-
know that these things do that.
The only thing she would have is that they're in a prison that's probably magical because they can't see shit.
Yeah, and don't trust like I remember we teleported once before already, and then that didn't go well. Not you, I mean like separate, like we did something entirely different. I just have this memory.
Yeah.
So yes, summon something that shoots
That was
acid.
her dimension door thing. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was well,
Yeah.
like I could tell the difference.
Oh yes, I remember that now.
Yeah, see, it's gone bad once. I'm not going to
Well-
do that unless I have no other choice. So please acid this door, this wall with something that spits lots of acid. You know what spits acid? Some types of purple worm.
You mean that
Just
thing I
saying.
can't summon?
You can't summon purple worms?
Mm.
Can you summon an ooze?
Yeah, an ooze will be fine. Anything with kind of
Nah.
acid damage.
Summoning an ooze is actually a separate spell.
Mhm.
There's a spell called Well,
there's no
there's
way there's
spells for
not something
summoning.
on the summoner list that is like there's got to be something that spits acid.
Here, if you want to help me look, there's a lot of creatures on this list.
Summon Xenomorph.
That's just cheating.
Yeah, but
At least I'll be able to find any ducks nearby and just crawl right in.
all right, let's see. Can you
Summon a
summon
skeleton.
devils or demons or any of that?
Oh, there's plenty of those.
No, can you is my question, not...
Oh, yes.
Yeah, they're
she's
all the
true
way down
neutral.
at the bottom.
She can summon everything.
Okay, that's all I needed to know.
Well, plus arcane casters.
Okay,
aren't limited
summon
like
a
that.
Elder Acid
Yeah,
Elemental,
but she's
please.
willing as well.
Elder Acid Elemental, please. Or, a lesser acid. Just acid elemental in general will do it.
Yeah, that is a thing you can do.
Yeah.
And that does definitely exist. This world had an entire fucking, war over it. They know they exist.
I'm just looking at it real quick.
And then
I
you
mean,
are
to make it
believed to be
better.
the reincarnation of Jubilex,
Oh,
and they kill
good.
you on sight.
It'll give off fumes. Fantastic.
Hold our breath or tell it not to.
Hey, Hirazin, stop smelling like a dwarf.
Ha!
I'm not literally... Oh, okay, I am literally made of dwarf. Okay, I don't have an answer to that one. Good on you. Well, could be
Anyway,
suppressible
using
power, I
some-
don't know.
Using
that-
some summon elemental, I will permit you to summon any of the elementals that have the full 6 variants of small through elder.
Okay, as it
not
is allowed,
the
then.
not the ones that only have small through large, for example.
Oh, no
Or-
lightning.
Or
Common
just
through
elemental
royal.
dragon.
Psionic elemental. Let's do it.
No time elemental.
Yes,
I think regular are allowed.
I
Does
That's
have
acid
fun.
actually do this? The acid elemental actually would do this? Because I don't have any idea.
Well, it does
quasi-elemental
acid damage. Anything that's acid gets to...
I mean, yeah, all its damage is done as acid.
That would get through the hardness. It'd chew right through the wall, the idea. It'd just sit there and blarp, 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 blarp. Till we got to dirt, then you can summon another Bulette, and then we take our way out.
You could summon a cold iron elemental and have it pound its way through.
That's the blunter way, yes. Or summon a magma one to melt it. Pick one, but...
Or you could stop lying.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
I
Yeah,
didn't
she-
lie. I got burned to death. What do you want?
But also, as a point, we were thrown into a pit full of bones, so I don't think he cares if we lie or not. He's just using whichever one of us is the easily manipulated as his...
Honestly,
Yeah.
I think the cold iron's a better way to go, because I'm not sure that it can actually turn off those poison fumes.
Okay, why not? Okay, let me look at the magma one real quick.
Let's go from poison fumes to magma.
Magma could do it.
Except,
wait, no,
you're in a
fire.
pit.
It's not a good choice, sorry. Alright, what's so special about the cold iron one?
It's cold
just
iron?
mean.
It has
Its attacks. Its attacks all count as cold iron, so it can just pound through pretty much anything.
Alright, I'm hoping he doesn't have an adamantine box. Go for it.
Yeah, sure. Why not? Let's go for it.
It also has a burrow speed, so I don't know.
Oh god, yes, that would have actually been the perfect one to get originally.
Hold on just a second, guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, back. You were just saying about the cold iron elemental?
Yes.
Yep, gonna summon it, have it try to pound through it, I suppose.
And we dismiss the Bulette, so we're not squished. Unless we want it riding the Bulette, which would be cool.
Alright, in that case, that is a good spot for us to break for the night.
Everyone is doomed.
We're not doomed, but this city's fucking doomed. No offense to Tio, but if these guys keep annoying the party like this, some of us might just, start doing bad things.
Make that shift over to chaotic evil.
Yeah.
I am ready to just start preparing hellfire rays and going at them.
Yeah, we might, we tried to be subtle, and all that's gotten us is multiple, incarcerations and boxes and no help from anyone. We might just go full, Rambo on this shit and start just nuking whole houses where we think they are.
I'm just gonna blow up Havelock Hearts Manor.
And that.
And Fulton sits in the lookout tower, watching the destruction below, and sheds a single tear.
He can complain if he wants, but screw him.
I'll just turn into a great worm gold dragon and start smashing the place.
Yeah. Literally be as fucking
I could do it. It doesn't really. As we've established, I only get the size increase, but that would still give me enough strength to start to smash shit. And I can't cast spells in that form, and I'm vulnerable. But still, if I have a party with
it'd be
me,
cool
we
and
can
very
smash the building.
dramatic.
Mm-hmm.
I
Or
could
you
ride
could,
you, shooting everything if it was a problem.
turn your more physically inclined friends.
Oh yeah. What's your strength at, Horizon?
Base 10, just because I didn't put really any points into it.
Actually, if we really wanted to, I could prepare it. I could prepare a whole bunch of them the day before and turn us all into gold dragons, and we can lay siege to the place.
Listen, if it comes to that, I have other things you could turn me into that'd be much more frightening, such as a Colossus or a Titan. Increase the size category of my gun, and suddenly I am firing volleys of cannonballs.
Yeah, just increase your size category up. You can't
Yeah,
hit
make
anything,
me
but
Colossus.
if you do,
What? I can't what?
you can't hit anything. But if you do, it's dead.
It's a touch attack still. I could hit everything.
Well,
It's
yeah.
still a
Plus,
cone,
you'd be
it's just-
blowing up. Plus, the things you'd be attacking would be buildings.
Yes, they're not gonna move. I would be
Say,
cone attacking from Colossus size to the Colossus size Blunderbuss, blowing this entire place off the map. Just
Yeah,
marching.
you know what? Let's just play Power Rangers and make all of us gargantuan. Start
Yeah,
crushing
screw this
shit.
noise. Let's play some Gargans. Let's go wrestle Godzilla.
Then 5 teenagers with giant mecha will attack us.
God damn it! But there's 5 of us. Sorry, 4 of us. We should have the advantage there. They can only make one Big Mac.
And Teb is the Blue Ranger. Anyways, I will see you all next week for Ian's Mutants and Masterminds.
Done.
You know what
done.
I realized yesterday? You know what I realized yesterday I should have done for that campaign, and I'm going to if we do another one later?
Uh-oh.
Mhm.
Mati.
Mm.
You gotta theme it right. You gotta do evil Mati or something, or Mati
No,
with
no,
some
no,
competence.
No, I
no,
would just
no.
be Mati, sent through a dimensional rift from another planet.
At some point, we're just gonna launch you to the moon. At that point, you're kind of useless.
I would
annoying.
play him. I would play him competently.
The
Well,
way
you
the
got like
writers
Mati.
never wrote him.
Then you're not Mati if you're competent. That's the thing.
You're someone who looks
Okay.
a lot like Mati and happens
Okay,
to steal
there's-
his ring.
There's my theme. I'm going to be competent Mati.
I said that.
You're going to play Bargo Dranamayev. Only
only
people who
problem
have
is-
watched the Channel Awesome movies will get that.
I got it.
Oh yes, but I have to say that for the sake of our 2 listeners.
Ah, yes. I actually own To Boldly Flee on DVD.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. I'm just musing over. Well, this scenario is troubling, but then the scenario in the Mutant Mastermind is also troubling.
So yeah,
Trouble for everyone.
So yeah, next week, if we can't think, if this crap keeps happening in the city, I say we each just pick something big we'd like to turn into, and turn into colossal shit and start wrecking Havelock Heart's house.
Can I turn into a hypermassive, dwarf statue thing, Colossus size, with a Colossus size gun? I can just mow this city down.
I
So I'll
could
do
make you into
that.
some sort of. I could use it to make you into some sort of construct. Yeah, I can turn you into any kind of creature.
Yeah, I'll turn into a why not? There's a Colossus-sized adamantine dwarf golem. Fuck him.
I mean, I've been looking for an excuse to summon a giant swarm of spiders. Still haven't really got to do that yet.
Oh, we can turn you into like a giant, like a Ungoliant-sized fucking spider, and you can just summon a bunch of other spiders beforehand.
Well,
Spider wave.
Well, I can look up the creature types I can turn you into that don't stop you from casting your spells, and we can go with that. But yeah.
Most of them are probably going to be humanoid things.
Anyways, I gotta go get supper. Feel free to talk among yourselves.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you might
good
want
night.
to.
See y'all.
You might
I
want
will
to
see y'all
prepare for
next
that.
week.
Actually, you
Bye-bye.
might want to figure out what
Bye.
the HP of his house is. Good
Mm.
night.
Yeah, you might
Good
want to
night.
do the HP of the whole damn city at this rate.